Yeah, you're welcome to the live stream once again. I think we'll have to keep doing this up until we are coast free. It seems as though something is up, or is it that the platform doesn't want me to be sharing my screen? Maybe perhaps that is what is happening. But I think I think we will not be deterred. I want to see whether or not it is the fact that they don't allow us to really do this, or it is not allowed really. I want to really know something. I want to check for the next 30 minutes if we'll be shut down again. Because they are saying they shut us down unexpectedly. All right. So yeah. So you're welcome once again to the live stream. Thank you. If you are that's why we dey talk say make you follow us. If and of course on your notification, your notification will allow you to really be able to know when we are live and when we are not live, really. Wow, this is serious, right? I think I will have to off my camera for some time. I'll have to off my camera because I think I have to do some back end stuff here. Whoa, this thing self don't almost die. Yeah. So I have to do some back end stuff. And of course, I want to also know whether or not we are infringing on any rules. I suspect maybe perhaps we are sharing the screen, or perhaps people can see what I'm seeing on the screen. That's why they are trying to basically shut us down. But you're welcome, regardless. We would not be deterred, and we shall never be weary of the whims and caprices of those that would not want us to really live stream today. And we are fighters, really. And as fighters, we would keep getting back up. We would not be deterred. We would have the encouragement to keep going for the jugular of the oppressors, and to keep exposing our people to the kind of message that is indeed necessary. You know, so it is very, very important. I'll be back. Sorry. So thank you so very much indeed for your patience. And we just have to fix some things behind the closed door, behind the back end, and we are still very much in it. We have been shut down for two times today. No conspiracies. We want to believe that the platforms are just misbehaving for now. We don't. I don't want to come up with any kind of you know conspiracies to whether or not they don't want to listen to the truth. They don't want us to really propagate the truth and all of those things. But well, we move. What is happening today? And under the waiting they happen, man. We have already said a lot of things already on waiting they happen. So many things are happening in Nigeria, and I'll be bringing. I may not be able to show it on the screen, but I think what I would do is to just be running the commentary ordinarily, just ordinary commentary, and you can it will be on the basis of go and verify kind of situation. I would have loved to put it on the screen so that everybody would be able to see it alongside myself, but as it is now, I think we cannot share stuff on the screen, and this is I really find it very somehow if you cannot share stuff on the screen. As it is now, the River State youths has taken to the streets of Port Harcourt to show their support for President Tinubu's second term tenure and the City Boy movement. Good, can you believe that? And I can see them right now. I can see them literally on the streets in their numbers. Port Harcourt youths. All right, these are Port Harcourt people. Basically, you know, just these are Port Harcourt youths that are my job is not done really. I still have one or two things to do with this back end stuff. Yeah, you're welcome, Engineer Sani. And Sani, can you hear me, Engineer Sani? Engineer Sani, are you there? Mhm. Engineer Sani is not. You are not connected with us really. But I think please connect with us and let's have a discussion. Let's have a conversation. Let me send this link to, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think I've done that homework. Let me take it back. So it's been a very huge hurdle today. Yeah, today we have had to scale through so many hurdles today, but well, we would never be deterred. We will never be deterred. Um, it is what it is. In in Nigeria, you have to really know how to multitask. Multitasking is part of the things that you have to do. And as it is now, waiting they happen now, be say for today, we don't yet say rivers youths are basically on the streets, for the but let me try this one more time. I'm stubborn, Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen one more time. Now let's see, just for you to have an idea of what I'm talking about. Maybe I no go the no go take for on top screen. You can see hey, what is happening live and direct. Live and direct. You can see this is live and direct. Let me not put music so that no go be like say I believe they say they feel am so. These are the youths in River State basically. They want us to believe that the youths in River States they are on the city boy movement on the train of city boy movement. That is what they want us to believe. Mm. So we must really take note that the city boy movement is in all time high. The, just as we saw the endorsement of Akpi Speed Darlington, just endorsed. You can see how happy people, everybody's happy, endorsing City Boy. Everybody is so glad. Everybody is so glad. City Boy, City Boy movement is gaining so much momentum. And this is what many people would call what? Uh, the kind of politics that showcase your political sagacity in Nigeria. This is the kind of politics that you play that shows that yes, you have political people. People who want us to believe that this politics now is organic. Eh? People who have us believe that this is genuine love. Money did not exchange hands in this kind of situation. They want us to believe that money did not exchange hands. This is just pure organic love, without any form of, no incentive. Everybody just love, and of course the t-shirts, the caps, the banners. It was these people that actually contributed money to do this. That is what the people want us to really believe. But well, do you believe that also, dear audience? Do you think this is pure love? Do you think the people that are against this sort of things are just jealous? They are jealous that they don't have love of the people. All right. Are they really jealous? Anybody we no want support this kind thing, na jealousy. Anybody wey be say if he pull this kind of weight, and of course in politics they talk say, you need money, you need people, you need knowledge. Many people will argue that the reason why someone like Shore is not having the kind of momentum he's having is because he has no money. No be say the rhetoric way in the kind idea and ideology where you want tell Nigerians. No be say the thing not make sense. All right. No be say people no like him. All right. And of course, our last video don't go far or more for TikTok for you to for an account less than three. Well, it's interesting. So you can see how the organic love, the genuine love, really. No, people are so much in love with City Boy movement. That is what thing they happen now, really. So we do this show every day, which in they happen on TikTok. We are currently on YouTube. We are also currently on X, on Twitter, as we dey talk like this. So please, how come we are coming to? How can we be coming up to contribute? Oh, so sorry. I would have loved, for that kind of situation to happen, but now we are we don't have that arrangement, or perhaps the platform that we are running this from do not have that arrangement. We are not up to 1,000 followers. Number one, are you following us? So we are using a different platform to get to live stream live. So is the I want to believe that it is the system of that live streaming platform that has not been incorporated into TikTok, so that people can request for mic directly from TikTok. That's what I believe. But I also want to believe that part of the reasons is that we are not up to 1,000 followers. So please, if you have not followed us, please follow us now. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much. Please let's power tap so that this program can continue. And of course, TikTok will not flag it. Eh. So this is now waiting they happen now, but this, for River State. The pure what they want us to believe that people just love Emilokon so much. They want us to believe that people just love, Emilokon so much. People love Tinubu so much that everything here was paid for. Everything here was organized by the people. Yeah, can you hear me, Lewis? Lewis, thank you so much. I can see your comment, and it really breaks my heart. Do you have it? Do you have two devices? Do you have two devices, Lewis? Lewis, let me put the link that you can use to join us. If indeed you want to join us, if you have two different devices to contribute to this great discussion, let me first put it on the YouTube, and then let me put it on the banner. Let's make that work out first. Um, I'll put it on the screen now. So yeah, um, Lewis, please use that link. That link on your screen, if you type it correctly on the browser of the second phone that you are using. If you have a second device, because you can't really come into the studio here using this your TikTok. We are on a different we are in a different world of our own, really. So it's really difficult, really. So thank you so much for coming. It's nice to have you. So this is waiting to happen now, for Nigeria politics, and they say campaign never start officially. If now other party they do all of these things now, it go become problem. Hmm? But it's because it is the incumbents doing it. Everybody just folds their hands and act as if not there's no problem. All right. Everybody just do it in. Everybody just act as though everybody just pretend as all is well. Everybody pretends as if all is well. That this is the kind of politics that we want in Nigeria. Mm. This is the kind of politics. But really, let's face it. When are we going to really begin to face our reality in Nigeria? But it seems as though the reality, yeah, based on reality, people really, want to really, support the city boy. City boy is very much people's favorite at this point. And of course, on waiting they happen, we also want to bring to your notice that Edo Governor Monday Okpablo appoints Mercy Johnson Okoje as special advisor. You sabi Mercy Johnson, that Nollywood actress. She has been appointed. She has been appointed into the government of Pablo. I don't know how to pronounce that well, but at least yeah, I think I don't try to pronounce them. She has been appointed. That is waiting to happen with that. The politicians are cornering all your favorites. Are jumping in the camp of the politician. All your favorites are in the camp of the politician. So you now be wondering, have they always? Some of you are now wondering, why do you have to do this? Why did you have to do that? Have they always stood by your side? And of course, many people will also say that this is a moment of reflection for the Nigerian people. Today for who day for them. Hmm? It's an opportunity for the Nigerian people to have to come back to factory setting, really. Day for who day for you. Eh? All your celebrities, they are falling in line. Yeah, this one now, you don't fall in line to APC. You think, say, as in be special advisor like this now, is not automatically in the city boy movement in an APC party. He's already a member of APC. And of course, automatically, as a member of APC, he is also very much in the city boy movement. He is very, very much in the what? In the city boy movement. So what are we talking about here? All your favorites are falling in line. So what are you going to do about it? That is the point. And of course, it's now you now begin to choose whether or not you want to really, you know, throw your hands in the air and say, well, there's nothing I can do. Or perhaps you organize with your sets, should get size, or get quality, class by class. All of these people, then they are rich people. Who do you want them to really, support? Their fellow rich people, they will follow their fellow rich people, and they are the very ones that would do film for you. Say, poor man picking, they marry rich man picking. They are the ones that will do movie for you. That poor man picking, they marry rich man picking. Now inside film that one day, bro. Now inside movie, now you go see that one. You know they no deal for real life. Any rich man picking, wey carry poor man picking come meet him parents, say he wan marry am. The parent go call am enter corner, talk am say, is he okay? And they will also call that poor man picking. They go tell am, leave our child alone if you don't want to have problem in your life. And they are not joke about it. Because they already have plans for the child. They already know that they is probably going to get married to the child of their fellow rich people. So that is how it is in real life. The same thing I am be for politics. Many would argue that all of these celebrities falling in line, and of course, we also heard of Akpi, One Mama, Speed Darlington also falling in line to the city boy movement, really. So everything is gelling for the city boy and the politicians at the moment. All of these things is to flex muscle, to demoralize the people, basically. When people say all of these things, what do you think goes on in their mind? They say, Tinubu don't win. But in actual fact, that's not true. In actual fact, this is all of these things is just to really flex muscle, all right? It's flexing of muscle, political muscle, flexing of political muscle to make you, it's a smoke screen to make you believe that it is over, when in actual fact it's not over. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. If the people have chosen that we are going to vote for sure this time around, let the rich people go and support their fellow rich politicians. Let the influencers, the celebrities, the on-air personalities, the real estate mongols, the billionaires, let them go and follow established politicians that are in charge or have been in charge of our treasuries in the past. We, the poor people, we, the ordinary people, we want to go for Shore, who is also an ordinary person. Isn't how is it difficult? How is this difficult to comprehend, really? But you now go throw on herself for inside their camp. So when things now begin to pan out in the way that they want, you become very, very annoyed. Just 1 minute, please. So yeah, so sorry for that timeout. I had to just attend to something. So it is what it is with the Nigerian political class, and of course the upper class, the rich people, the celebrities. It is what it is with them. Don't expect too much from them. I think now why the disappointment just yakpa like this. Disappointment to yakpa. People are crying that why would Messi Johnson, why would why would she take this kind of appointment? Why wouldn't she take it when millions of naira is at stake? Do you think is she is doing this from the benevolence of her heart? Millions are at stake, and this current Tinubu economics is designed such that even rich people are afraid. The gap between rich people and poor people, these middle class people, these professionals, the gap between us, the ordinary Nigerians, and them, the gap not too much at all. So anything that they see that would give them the leverage of maintaining their status, because it's expensive to live this kind of status. So they need the system. They need to cooperate with the system for them to maintain their lifestyle. They need the cooperation of the system to maintain their lifestyle. So some of us will not be we will not be surprised. We would not be surprised when they decide to join, jump ship into the den of the politician. Because now their money day, my brother, Nigerian money is in the hands of the politicians. Let's move ahead in our ministry. All right. I think there is a court case, according to this officer now, that bars Shore Sahara reporters from publishing alleged defamatory content on IGP Egbetokun. Court bars Shore Sahara reporters from publishing alleged defamation content. If it is alleged, there's no even this thing not even get source safe. Which source? Which news source is this? Is it from Premium Times or from Swift Reporters? Who are those ones that is called Swift Reporter? I beg you. I beg. All right. Of course, stabilizing rent prices as a short-term measure. The first thing we need to do is to place caps on rent hikes. I am proposing three simple steps. First, the cost of agency and legal fees should be capped at 5%. This would eliminate the ridiculous 20% agency under agreement. All right. If it is capped at 5%, that will mean that 5% of, let's say, the rent is 500,000 naira. What is 5% of 500,000 naira? 10% will be 50,000 naira, B, but 5% will be 25,000 naira. So you want these current agents that they don't have any. This is their means of livelihood. Though you think 25,000 naira will be enough for them, and some of them they only have one or two clients in a month. You know how it is to get house in Lagos. I'm talking from a standpoint of someone who also is very much looking for house in Lagos. Me, I'm even looking outskirt of Lagos. Outskirt of Lagos. All right. Agreement commission 150, 150. Rent 400. The apartment we are on take with that. Yeah, that's it. So it is what it is. And if you are going to regulate something, you will have to do it such that you provide enough incentive and arrangement good day. And of course, landlord self go ask you questions. Now you help them build their house. All right. When you are selling cement for 10,000, 11,000 naira, you know how much it is to build a two-bedroom flat now. A two-bedroom flat bungalow now. Do you know how much it is to build it from foundation to finish? So are you now going to now start telling them that you are going to put a cap? You are going to place a cap based on channels television. They said you want to place cap. They go ask you, say, now you help them build their house. All right. Because how many years you want them to make back the money? This is a second, there must be reform around notices for rent increases. Currently, a landlord can issue a notice to raise by 100 to 200% just 4 months before expiration, and it is legal. This is unacceptable. The third and most important measures is to cap rent increases on properties that are already occupied. This cap should be tied to inflation. Well, we just want to wish the tenants like myself the best of, and of course, tenants like myself, we are trying to organize to bring about a government that will make housing affordable for the masses. All right, mass housing is one of the best strategic plans of any serious government. Any serious government will take the housing needs of its people very, very seriously. But it seems as though we have a situation whereby the government don't take the housing needs of people quite seriously, and it's quite concerning, really. People are really suffering out there. There's so much homelessness out there just because of rent issues. Me and you had a talk like this now. I did look for a house, and of course, I am in on injury time. This place where I did so now injury time I did, and of course, it's not a convenient place. It's such a hell. As I did like this now, I'm not comfortable, and you know what not being comfortable can do to your coherence. It can affect and even affect your ability to even concentrate when it they catch you when you are having an intellectual discussion. No ventilation, no cross ventilation. All right, you see, na fan na in dey my hand, so where I dey use a fan myself, really. So it affects your coherence. It affects you have disorientation. All right, but based on say we don't no make person no go just dey used to nonsense. We have a way of adapting to nonsense. But me, despite having that ability to adapt, I have recognized that this is not the normal way to live. And of course, nobody can live long in this kind of situation. Nobody. In the whole of my area, there's no one single tree. Not single tree. Tree. You now wonder where is the oxygen coming from? You now want to compare the quality of life of person we know we tree no even dey their area. You want to compare it with the person maybe say trees around, is breathing in oxygen straight from the plants. You cannot compare now, bro. You cannot compare at all, in any way, shape, or form. So the issue of rent in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, it's going out of proportion. Let's take this comment from Apostolos before we now go to our bookmarks. Atiku, Sheyi Makinde, and other PDPs politicians are overrated. Wiki hijacked the party and chased them away. If they could not save their tattered PDP, how could they save Nigeria? Stop following weak men. Showore is the real deal. So this one is a Showore fan, obviously. And it's basically highlighting one of the things we happened recently. We hear say Wiki don't pursue people waiting for PDP. We thought Sheyi Makinde and the likes they had a good grip on PDP, but it turns out that Wiki still has a very huge, a very huge grip on PDP, and he has basically ousted Sheyi Makinde. And most likely, what you hear now is Sheyi Makinde decamping into ADC. That is the most likely thing that you think will happen, or any other party. It will most likely decamp to APC or PDP or ADC. This is their own, this is their fronts. This is their own base, really. This is what they do, really. So, but it now depends on whether or not this is what you want to accept as normal. Is this what you want to take as normal, or you want to resist this, or you want to really play a different ball game entirely, where you are going to organize with your states? People are saying organize with Showore, who happens to be the poor man among the bunch. He happens to be the ordinary man like you and I among the bunch. So would you rather go and support, those that are big men, all right? Or would you support person with your category? This is Governor Ifeda Portion. This is an account from X. One account is taking the salary of over 5,000 workers. Another account with the same BVN taking salary of 900 workers every month under Adeleke. Hey, Jehovah, wahala don burst. Now the thing where they happen now be that, my people, things they have. I know that's why I say me and I don't know if they crack my head, they rack my head around topics again in this our live stream. We go just they react and give commentary on situations as it dey hot. As it dey hot, we dey talk am. As we dey see am, we dey talk am. As it dey hot, we dey talk am. No be say we go just come dey crack our brain on kind of you know, some kind of topics. No. Thank you so much for joining. Let me make some shout outs. Funsho Samuel, thank you so much. Are you very much a follower? Have you followed us? Please do that.
But you have one single account, Sheung, one single account, taking 962 salaries per month. One single account linked to only one BVN and one name and one bank account, taking 962. In fact, there was a particular account that had 5,615. Suppose when you have such things, there automatically should be checks and balances on ground. In other words, red flags should have gone up and what have you, but nobody did anything. The Ministry of Finance is there. They should be the ones superintending on payroll. The Office of the Accountant General is there. The Office of the Human Resources is there. How would you look at people getting paid? Some get double, triple.
Quickly, Ms. Otto, these are really worrying because about a billion naira is being lost in Osun State due to this payroll fraud, as you have discovered in these forensic audits.
But you have one single account, Sheung, one single account, taking 962 salaries.
One single account taking over 962 salaries. One single account linked to one BVN. This is quite serious. This is quite scandalous under the dancing governor. People will have expected dancing governor to do better. Seems as though the dancing governor have some other plans. It seems as though dancing governor, so many things are going down, behind the dancing governor. And this is under Wetin Dey Happen for Nigeria. These are the things that we have normalized these things, really. We have normalized them. Our politicians are carrying out all of these atrocities, or perhaps things like this are happening under their nose. Things like this are happening under their nose without any form of consequences. Is it the first time of hearing about ghost workers in Nigeria? This is not the first time of learning about ghost workers in Nigeria. No, it's not the first time. Far from it. It's not the first time at all, And this is like another revelation, all right, that is very, very much important that we highlight. There's so much racketing. People are, if you see people spending money in parties recklessly, where do you think the money is coming from? Where do you think the money is coming from? Where do you think the money is coming from? Why do you think stuff like this can happen or can be happening under an effective governor? A governor we know wetin they do. Governor we know wetin they do. How can this kind of thing be happening under his watch? I don't think so. Any governor we sabi wetin they do, no go allow this kind 900 accounts, 900 salaries under one account. Okay, 900 salaries under one account, under Governor Adeleke, the dancing governor. And this is a Nigerian saying, I'm tired of being ruled by the committee of friends. Sammy, this one eats hard. Yes, committee of friends, same guys, same guys. Seems as though governments need to rotate around these guys. Hmm. That is what we are made to understand. This is what they are selling to us. That governments have to revolve around the same set of people. Should that be the case? Should that be the situation? Should that be the case? And I think that is a very important question that our viewers need to really understand, or perhaps give answers to. Should government always revolve around politicians, or should power return back to the people? Should people be respected enough to make their decision? And of course, another question that tends to come to my mind is that, when are the people stop really being obsessed about these guys? Seems as though the obsession is real. The obsession is very real. I don't have any doubt in my system or in my mind that Atiku has millions of people loyal to him. Whether or not these people are willing to see the light and, peg their loyalty towards a pro-people person is a game entirely. And whether or not people that are willing to support Mr. Peter Obi and all of these guys, who are the, circles of the boys, really, is a boys club. Are we willing to do something quite different this time around? Or do we want to really continue the status quo and keep lamenting? And I will take my time to really tune in. I will tune into, some discussion going on, so that we can really take a look at the frame of mind, or perhaps the mindset, the inner workings of the mindset of the Nigerian people. The inner workings of the mindset of the Nigerian people. Very, very important. I think this our last AI video is really, people really love it a lot. It seems to be doing well across all platforms. I think in most cases, our videos usually, do well in one platform and not do well in other platform. That is usually the case, but it seems as though it's a different case. It's a different ball game entirely this time around. It seems to be doing well across all platforms. And of course, if you like all the comments, all the contents that were put out, and you are yet to follow us, you are wrong. All right. If you love everything we do, they show us love. All right. They show us love by following, liking, sharing. Don't be stingy. Let's not be stingy with the fact that we have come across a very good, great content creation platform that talks about the Nigerian situation, and you are not able to share with others. So this is 40 minutes ago. Ogun State Police have arrested Mirabel, the TikToker arrested who recently went viral for alleging she was sexually molested. Police spokesperson DSP Oluwaseyi Babasheyi says, well, let's take a listen to what the police is saying on this matter.
And the posts that were going viral on X, or formerly known as Twitter, we acted in good faith. The DPO did everything professionally within his power to make her get medical attention, proper medical attention. She was admitted into the ICU, that's the intensive care unit of the the hospital I told you about. And as a presumed victim of sexual assault, what should we do? She had a freedom to communicate with who she wanted to communicate with. And thereafter, we found out that we saw online that there are various accounts of her, of presumed confessions. As you know, when she has been happily helpfully, she had been discharged from the hospital, and as we speak now, she's with us for us to further the investigation and to get to a logical conclusions of whether those allegations were true or not.
They know how to really swing into action when it has to do with the ordinary man. If this whole thing is about politicians now, they'll be weighing they go weigh their chances first. If it will not get them into trouble, they will first weigh their chances. If the thing no go get them into trouble, if it's going to get them into trouble, then it becomes a problem. This is a post by Nathaniel. Imagine that. Imagine what Nigerian police has reduced a once brilliant young police officer to. It would be nice if you swift to investigate and address the daily kidnapping of and slaughtering of Nigerians across the country. But no, but now you have turned the police into the high GP's PR team. Hmm, interesting. All right. For the record time, this is by Showore, really. For the record, this is now the third time Nigerian courts have awarded damages against the federal government in my favor. A federal high court judge, Justice Awuli Shikeri, previously awarded damages against the DSS after they illegally seized my phones during my unlawful arrest in 2019 over Revolution Now. Despite the judgment, they have refused to pay, have never returned the confiscated devices. In another case, a federal high court judge, Justice Ugwatu, awarded damages against the same lawless DSS for abducting me inside a courtroom, an act that struck at the very heart of judicial authority. To this day, they have neither complied with the judgment nor returned my property. Yet, these same institutions rush to the media whenever they obtain their Jankara ex parte orders, demanding obedience and respect for court decisions they themselves routinely disregard. If the government expects citizens to honor judicial pronouncements, it must first demonstrate that it is not above the law. Yes, selective obedience to court orders is the clearest signs of institutional hypocrisy and decadence. As for me, I will take steps to lawfully enforce these judgments, debts, and when recovered, the funds will not serve personal comfort. They will be they will be redirected to those who truly need support. Residents of Oroshoki, whose homes were demolished, retired police officers, teachers abandoned in suffering, student activists facing repression, and others who continue to bear the brunt of state injustice. I must collect my debts. This is your really pounding yam, and he's saying, I must collect my debt. And of course, he's saying this is not the first time, that, he will get judgments on a case and the case will not be looked into and those involved will not pay damages. The third time, this is not first, second, or this is the third time. And these guys will now begin to preach to you. They preach to you what is called law or perhaps court order when they themselves do not obey the judgment of the court. And this is huge disrespect to the sanctity of the courts. And of course, these guys have a way of jumping up and down, to enforce a court order on the citizens. But they themselves are guilty of that same thing, of not obeying court order. And he who comes to equity must come with clear hands, must come with clean hands, really. But are Nigerian police coming to equity with clean hands? I don't think so. Are Nigerian police officers, or perhaps the police institution, especially the DSS, can they? What do you think would happen to their public perception, all right, as a result of this development by Showore, having been awarded a court judgment in his favor? If say the court tell am make you go jail now, immediately from court straight to jail. If the court has award, and there are many even occasions whereby they even took law into their hands by abducting Showore without any court order. But why is it not instantaneous? Why is the pronouncement of the court not instantaneous? The recovery of his phones that was stolen from him when they abducted him in 2019. Why is that returning not they were quick to take the phones from him, but they were not quick to obey the court order to return back the phone to him. They were not quick to really provide damages. All right. Damages. It is what it is in Nigeria. And it is very, very heartwarming that we have, someone who is actually very consistent in calling out the anyhowness of Nigerian system. The anyhowness of the Nigerian system is very, 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 it's not something that is very good thing to watch. It's an eyesore, really, to watch how the Nigerian system disregard or disrespect its own rules and regulation, really. And I think I do not really, I'm not happy about these developments, really. Just 1 minute. So, are you a lover of justice, or you are just someone who, as one of the things that was said yesterday that really caught my attention by one of our very prominent speaker, says they love their oppressors but hate oppression. But they love revolution, but they hate revolutionaries. This seems to be a very succinct description of the Nigerian situation right now. Let me go over the other stories that are coming up, because so many things are happening at the same time in Nigeria, and of course we have to catch up with it and run commentary on it to put them in the right perspective for our people to take a listen and form an opinion. All right, is very, very important. So many things are happening. Have you heard that Speed Darlington is now in the Emilio camp, the City Boy movement? Have you also heard that you know Johnson, Mercy Johnson, all right, the Hollywood actress, is also very much in the City Boys movement. In fact, a special advisor to Governor Pablo. So yeah, you're welcome to the speaker section. As if I knew that you are about to join us. This is one of the things that my ancestors have a way of saying, that once coincidence like this happen, it means that person is not a bastard. That person is a son of his father, really. 'Cause I just really mentioned one of your, a very powerful quote that you dropped yesterday, Adege, that they love revolution, but they hate revolutionaries. They love their oppressors, but they hate oppression. That seems to be the case in Nigeria right now.
Yes, sir.
As
Yes, sir, my
Nigerians
fellow.
really have a way of not staying in one place and being consistent. All right. They should have a way of shifting goalposts every single time to where it favors them or their rhetoric really. So please, you're welcome. You're welcome to the
Thank you, my
program.
comrade.
How is the side of things? Hope you are
Oh,
kicking.
I'm kicking. Everything is going really nice. So I would have joined in earlier, but I was just taking care of a few things. Thank you once again, Liberation Chat, for always, opening up the space, giving the Nigerian people the opportunity to listen to the truth for once. You know, they said the more someone said, how did they say? They said the further a society strays from morality, the more they hate the people that say the truth. You know, and that seems to be the only crime that we have as revolutionaries in Nigeria, that we have said the truth, that we have addressed the elephant in the room, that we have said that we do not want to continue in this manner of foolery anymore. And that is why most people, are agitated anytime we speak. But we must continue to do the job regardless, because we owe it to our nation and we owe it to the next generation to ensure that the truth is spoken to power. Thank you once again, Liberation Chat, for welcoming, giving us this space. I appreciate it. You have clearly, diagnosed the people really, at least the majority of our people. Uh, they love the revolution, but they hate the revolutionary. But they love the oppressor and they hate the oppression. That is the internal struggle of the average Nigerian on a daily basis. That is his, that's the one thing he's struggling against, because of so many things. Some of them are scared of instability. When change happens, they are scared of the uncertainty that it brings. But some of us are progressive and we embrace uncertainty that comes with change, because we know that it is not just the type of change that has been, instituted by their principles in the past. There's positive change and there's negative change. What we aim to bring to the Nigerian people is positive change. Positive change. I was just on, Twitter, and I just remembered something. I think someone posted. She already posted something. I'm not really sure. A common president posted something on how how um we should be doing electronic voting right now. And I just commented on it because I remember what someone said yesterday that, oh, we are trying to beg the government to do better. And I replied and I said, look, I think most Nigerians assume that when we are talking, when we are criticizing the government, we are telling them that they should do better. That is wrong. Absolutely false. We are criticizing the government because we know that they cannot do better and we want them out of the way so that we can do the work. That is the reason. That is the ultimate goal. We are not here to negotiate with them. We are not here to tell them, please now do. No. We have observed them. They are obsolete. Their ideas are bankrupt. They have no innovation. They are old. They are gone with the times. Everything they can think about is a relic of the past. So we understand that. And as young Nigerian youths, we have come together to organize ourselves towards the eternal liberation of our people. These elders can go and sit down with their grandkids while the real Nigerian youths do the work, because it's obvious that they are too old. And we don't want to pressure them anymore. We want to take the stress off their shoulders and we want to help them. When you see an adult in my land, in my where I come from, if you see an adult carrying load on his head and you're a young man, it behooves you, because you have some form of respect, to help him carry that old load and that load from his head and do it. So this load that these Nigerian leaders are carrying, that they say they cannot do the work, they should drop it. We'll help them do the work. And it's evident that we can do the work. And that's why we have the ideas. And that's why we are talking about the ideas. So in that, thank you for opening the studio once again.
Thank you very much indeed, Adege, for coming. Nigerians appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I value your contribution to the educational campaign that Nigerians need right now. There's a huge educational campaign that is needed as we speak. No, so many things are happening at the same time in Nigeria, and it is one of our mandates here to bring it to the Nigerian people and set the record straight. The current news that we are looking at now is breaking news. Lagos begin 5% withholding tax on gaming winnings. If you win a bet in Lagos, you pay 5% tax in your winning. Interesting. Interesting. And this is to many of many of you that call yourself investors. Investors in gambling. I think the federal government is very much interested in that winning. They are not really interested in your losing. All of the money that you have lost. You'll be astonished the level of losing streak of Nigerian average better, or perhaps punter, or they call themselves so many names. Really, you know, I was on a particular program on TikTok where people are giving their testimonies on how, or let me not even call it testimonies. They are sharing their experiences on how this vice called gambling is really destroying the lives of our youth, destroying the lives of our youth. One of the speakers said that as he's speaking now, his wife has packed the load from the house. He said she can no longer, bear it any longer. The husband have sold everything in the house, the TV, generator, everything has been sold. The sound system, everything has been sold to betting. And of course, that is in millions of naira that has gone down the drain. And of course, if you ask some of these guys, not some, many of them, they got involved in this just because they have been cornered to some economic tight corner that they are tempted based on their environment. Look at the environment of an average street in Nigeria. You find two things: religion, not even two things, religion, entertainment joints where they buy alcohol, and of course you find betting companies. If it's not Baba Ijebu, the Lotto people, it will be sports betting, really. So, and of course, here we are, the federal government saying that for every winning, they are very much interested in the tax. If you win 100K, they would need 5,000 naira of that money. So, and of course, how many of the Nigerian punters even based on statistics? The system is built in such a way that there will always be more losers than winners. I think Adeke would like to say something about this. Please proceed. Yeah.
Oh my comrade, you even said what I was about to say, which is basically this: the
Mm.
betting company can only exist when it has more losers than winners. That is the only way a betting company can exist. The majority of its customers must lose in order for his company to exist. And there's a saying that they always say in the betting world: the house always wins. The house always wins. Now, there's something we must understand. I mean, the reason that I'm glad you spoke about why we have such a mass number of our youths, of not just our youth, our elders as well, participating in this vice. Why is
In
this
fact,
vice?
the elders are even more hooked. They are
Mm-hmm,
elders that have families. They stay in Baba Jebu shops,
mm-hmm.
permutating numbers. You see
All
them
day.
serious calculation. They are so concentrated. They have huge numbers that they will have to look at to come out with numbers. Some single one, three, four, five. They come up with, so you'll not be wondering how they got themselves involved in stuff like this. But they will tell you, well, they just have to do it because people are winning. But they use
No,
the word people are winning because that
you
is
see,
their hope
yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
escaping poverty, or perhaps because you now be wondering, some of these winnings are not even big money. Some of them they will put 100 naira for the hope of winning 10,000 naira. And that 100 naira seems negligible to them. But if they forget that about if 1 million people play that same 100 naira, just 1 million people, that is 100 million for the house, for the bookmakers, for the betting companies. But poor people just have a way of not knowing how these numbers add up, all right, on a daily
But
basis.
it's everywhere.
They
But
are
it
forced
shows
to do it
everywhere.
because it is their chance to really have their luck. They want to try their
But
luck.
it shows everywhere, Liberation Chat.
Yeah.
It shows
Mm,
everywhere. You see, let's
mm,
enter this thing one after the other. First
mm.
of all, you see, when you say they don't put these numbers together, it's just the same way the average Nigerian doesn't look at his state budget when it is released to see what's going. It's the same way they hear that billions and millions are missing, and they don't put the figures together that this thing is not just coming from thin air now. It's coming from somewhere. You see, so we always miss it in terms of the figures. We don't think about all those things. But when let's look at it critically. In a country where there's abject poverty, the government has allowed betting companies to ridicule our TVs. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. You said something that the average Nigerian street has three things: a church or a religious institution, a club or a place where you can go and drink yourself to stupor, and a place where you can go and give your money and waste your money in terms of betting. Those are the three major things you see. And these companies are in our country because people do not now have good jobs. People are now looking for a miracle. So when they look for miracle in the church, they don't see miracle for church. They go enter Baba Ijebu house to go find miracle. They will now start doing hoping that we shall enter. It will shall enter. They are hoping. They are hoping that it will come. That money will come. Because they already pushed to the world. They are just looking for different things. Some of them they cannot. And you see, the thing about betting is it's like hard drugs. That's the danger of betting. It's like hard drugs. It has the same effect of hard drugs on a person. And what it does really is that it gets you hooked on it. You can say you want to just test it, you just want to quickly do something, but it's just like cocaine. I just want to test it. By the time you test it one and it rewires your brain, you have no choice. This is involuntary. Everything you do after that is now involuntary because you are now addicted. And it takes a lot to break a cycle of addiction. I'm telling you, addiction to betting is as chronic as addiction to cocaine or any other drug. At least in other countries where they have betting companies, there are ways that the countries go about ensuring that people do not become, what do you call serial bettors. Let me put it that way. A lot of these companies, because they know how the damage is, they create what do they call them? I think service groups, or I've forgotten the name, where they take care of people, or you can, if you know someone who is having like a gambling problem or something, you can call. There are helplines you can call. These people will come and they will help. They'll see how they can intervene. In fact, it is the betting companies that are mandated by the government to provide such facilities because they are aware of what it can cost. But our own government have thrown our people into the water. They have let the people. They have thrown the baby into the water when the baby cannot swim. That's what they have done to us. Okay, now they put the Nigerian people in abject poverty. Nigerian people who are fathers, people who are mothers, they are running around and then they see this opportunity and every day is being advertised to them. It's being advertised to them everywhere they go. Betting, advertisement everywhere. Every show you watch in Nigeria is a betting advertisement. They are the ones sponsoring everything. They are even the influencers are telling you to go and bet. Yeah. They preach this betting thing, push people, push our youth, Nigerian youth that should be working, that should be learning how to be productive. That should be learning how to be productive. They push them to the wall. So the youths are like, okay, how can we survive? We're done with school. We don't graduate, no job. What to do? And when they're out there looking for a job, nothing. What do they see? Betting. Come and bet. Push short too old. Some people have turned it to business. There are groups everywhere. Let's pull money together. Like the betting culture has become, it is ridiculous in Nigeria. It's so bad. Vices have become our culture in Nigeria. Vices. And then when some people even make the money, what do? Because the only thing they have in front of them is a club. They will enter a club and go and spray money, waste it. And on top of that, federal government can't talk, say they won't collect 5% from your suffering, from your addiction. The federal government is willing to benefit from your vices. This is the same federal government that is not providing an avenue to help those who are falling into this terrible, vice. They will still give contractor betting license everywhere. That is the new thing. Everybody just wants to bet. It's ridiculous. And the sad part of it is that they are not even investing in our home, like our home, what's it called? Sports. They're not investing in our own sports. The betting that people do, international betting. The government cannot even invest in sports because that is one of the major things now that they do, and they made it very easy. Now, from your smartphone, you can just enter and bet. You don't need to go anywhere. The betting is right in front of you, so you can waste your life on the bet. That's just ridiculous. So the Nigerian government, we've said it time without number, that these people do not know how to build a society. They are not policymakers. Destroyers, that's all they are. It's the same way, just the way we are talking about betting, it's the same way these people allow drug abuse to become a critical problem in the country.
Can you see what I just put on the jumbotron, please?
I can't see it clearly. It's at the top.
This is serious.
Can you put it on the main screen, please, Liberation?
It will be hard to put on the main screen. Let me read it out. I have tried to enlarge it. I think it's clear enough. From what I'm seeing from my other phone here, it's very, very clear. It says, let me read. It says, in Nigeria, over 60 million Nigerians participate in betting daily, spending approximately $5.5 million on gambling activities. Can you even fathom that? 60 million Nigerians participate in betting daily based on legit NG. These are the sources. Daily Independent also reported on it. Business Day News also reports on it, that 60 million Nigerians participate in betting daily, spending approximately $5.5 million on betting activities. What's your response to that?
My comrade, that is another is extraction. I mean, 60 million Nigerians are betting. We're a country of 200 million. What is the poverty? Is it not 60 around the same amount of people that we have in multidimensional poverty? We have around 60 million people in multidimensional poverty in Nigeria, and 60 million Nigerians are betting. So there's a chance that 30 million of those people are part of the people in multidimensional poverty. $5 million to the betting industry.
Every day.
On a daily basis. Do you know that level of revenue? Where do you see that money inside Nigeria?
And the government is not even doing anything about it. They're not even seeing this as an epidemic yet. This is talking about 60 million people infected with an addictive activity that is draining them of the funds that they should retain in their pocket. This is draining it, and the government do not see anything they can do to really address this epidemic. But the only thing that can come up with is how to milk from it, how to really tax people from these guys are ruthless, really.
Nigerian government, anywhere you make your money, Nigerian government is interested. That's how they went to go and start running and chasing people that are doing Bitcoin, because they saw how much Bitcoin revenue was moving. They never want these people are not ever thinking about creating anything. Anywhere
mm,
money dey, now where they just won't go carry their own, just collect their own. That's their own, sha.
mm,
They are like
mm,
all those boys. You know what thing they now so Egba Adugo they do. You know say now so Egba Adugo they do. Maybe say
mm,
if you do anything for inside area like this, Egba Adugo go say how far now. You must
mm,
pay. You must pay 10%. You, you must
mm,
pay 10%. Eh? Now so
mm,
Egba Adugo they do now. So
mm.
now so Nigerian government
Interesting.
be. Nigerian government is the big bully. No
Please
matter
let's
what
stop
you
the
earn,
live. Let's
you
stop your
must.
screen, please. Thank you. Please
Yeah.
proceed. Yeah.
No matter what you earn, you must give Nigerian government their own share. You understand? That is hustling. Nigerian government is hustling.
It's
Anywhere money
crazy.
they come through, they just want to collect their own. They cannot even
Hmm.
think that okay, this betting thing is becoming a terrible thing. It's becoming a malice in society. Let us clamp
Yes,
down on it. Let
this
us
is a
regulate it.
serious problem, really. Hmm.
No, that is not their thought process. Their thought process is the only thing they saw when they see the only thing they see when they see betting is money.
I think an African country has banned all betting activities recently. I think
Yes, now because it's terrible now.
Rwanda or Uganda, because they
They
have
are,
figured it out that this thing is destroying their youths, is
my comrade,
destroying their society, really.
there are many countries who have clamped down on betting, especially
Hmm.
in a country like Nigeria, where all
Hmm.
our regulatory bodies are compromised.
They are compromised, really. Yeah, I can second that, really. All regulatory agencies are compromised. I can really, I can second that 100%. 100%. Is Adege still with us? Hmm. Seems as though we are losing connection with Adege. You know, every regulatory, look at it now. The scandal going on with our internet connectivity is outrageous. All right, it's outrageous. 300 gig cannot even last for a month again. 300 gigabytes. They will complain, yeah, it's because you are streaming too much. You know, what is live streaming? You know, and of course, why should why should we have to pay 50,000 naira for 300 gig? Why can't 50,000 naira be able to land you an unlimited data in Nigeria?
You are paying more than I pay for data on liberation chat.
Yes, yes, that is exactly what is going on here.
You are paying more than I
And
pay, and I'm in Canada. Hey, God, abeg.
it's
Just
crazy.
suffer for Nigeria.
An American woman was saying that the money which they spend because she married a Nigerian and they are doing holiday in Nigeria. She's spending 15K on a daily basis, and she's not even a content creator. Spending 15,000 naira every day on data in their family. She said this is not the case in America. Even in America, that
It's
she
not
subscribed
possible.
for $20 for the whole month,
Yes, unlimited. And that's
unlimited,
why they tell you now, liberation chat is not. See, you need to understand something, no.
and there are regulatory
And the
bodies that
internet, and the internet is not
hey,
good.
man.
It's not as if the internet is
Yes,
high
yes.
speed.
We have had like 4 timeouts today in this broadcast. Now we have had four. Now why our numbers not really at some point when we started we had about 17 on TikTok, but now because we have lost that momentum, now we are 3 on TikTok. Just because of that timeout, we have lost momentum,
That's
and
ridiculous. That's what we're
we have
saying.
paid for this service really.
And these guys are the ones that are telling us that they want to. I told you that transmission of electronic something that we want to do. Nigerians will have to have a wake up call. Though.
Hmm.
Nigerians will have a wake up call.
Hmm.
Is this the infrastructure you want to use to do e-transmission of?
Hmm.
But these people don't know how to improve anything. Say they
They
don't
don't.
know.
They
This
don't.
is when did internet infrastructure come to Nigeria? When did we receive phone GSM infrastructure from 2000s? So between 2000 and now,
Hmm.
we have not been able to have over like we do not have the substantial part of our country riddled with internet. Instead, we are still fighting for good internet in the most cream de la cream areas of Nigeria. I'm talking in the best places in Nigeria, you still
Yes,
have
yes,
internet problem.
yes. Where we had our fall in love with Freedom Place at Ikeja GRA, the network there was terrible. This is a GRA, a government reserve area. Terrible. Anybody can fact check me. Airtel
That no,
network
that's the
at
those are
Ikeja. Airtel network at Ikeja GRA is terrible.
liberation
It's
chat.
beyond terrible. You load. The thing go just move like because we took some pictures on that venue, and some of the comments are saying I should send them the picture immediately. Can't see how the thing they drag like snail. I say
Wahala.
at Ikeja, this is GRA. GRA.
Liberation chat. Ask all our
Say this
viewers
is
right now
crazy,
on
man.
the line. All our viewers right now on the line. All of them right now on the line.
Hmm,
Ask them today how many times they have experienced network problem.
hmm, hmm.
There's no
And no
Nigerian that's
no
going
no
to have
heads
the
no heads will roll.
heads will roll that word. Now we
Nobody is
have
going to make
billionaire,
any call that
we have
we
companies
are
that are
having
making
complaints from
billions.
Nigeria that your network is giving them nightmare. What is going on? Do you want us to slam you with some fine or something? Nigerians are complaining about your network. Nobody is going to make that kind of frank calls, really.
We have
Mm,
people who are billionaires in this country from selling
mm,
data,
mm.
from
Yeah,
providing internet service that is not even
mm,
up to par with the international standard.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are we
Mm,
saying? Why
mm,
are these people then there? What are they doing there? Their job.
mm,
Manage resources you cannot. Develop the institution you cannot. Invest you cannot.
mm,
All the funds are made available to you. You cannot build a solid infrastructure. Are we not thinking of having our own infrastructure as Nigerians? Can we not think about building our own infrastructure, our own internet infrastructure? Have we invested in that? Everything we do is brought from outside. The entire internet infrastructure, broadband infrastructure that we have in Nigeria, is foreign. Things are not produced. Do we produce our own antennas in Nigeria? Everything we buy is not Japanese. If we're not patronizing Nokia, we're patronizing Huawei. We're always buying foreign products. We do not even have all these telecoms. They are not even investing in developing their own. The problem we have in Nigeria, and these are the fundamental things that need to change. Nigerian youth should be engrossed in knowing. We have so many youths that could have been professionals in the industry, in the telecom industry. So could have been having breakthroughs if we were investing in research and development in our telecommunication industry. But the only thing these people know how to do is to sell expensive data to Nigerians. The network, the internet that they provide is not even great. They will still collect VAT on top of it. You still pay VAT on top of it. You are receiving less than subpar internet. Absolute ridiculousness. This is the status quo everywhere. Same thing they do in the banks. None of the providers in Nigeria are doing a swell job. We must tell ourselves the truth. They give us the bare minimum because they feel like that's what we deserve. That is it. We pay for everything that we don't enjoy. We pay for light. We don't enjoy light. We pay for data. We don't feel enjoy the data. You buy fuel. You won't buy fuel. Some people will still mix the fuel with water for you. You're paying for tax. Your roads are not being done. You're paying your tax. Your children are still receiving substandard education in the public schools. You're paying your tax. Healthcare is not being developed any further. So we are playing our own part as Nigerian citizens. Playing our own part. But the government has chosen to be lazy, disingenuous. These are people who have internalized corruption, zero morality. The only thing that matters is money. Money, 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 money. They don't care about the Nigerian people. So there's no reason they will invest in any of these things now, liberation chat. So any good that they do for you is evil. Any good that you think they have done for you, it is evil for them. Yeah. Any good that you think the politicians have done for you, it is evil. Because at the end of the day, they stand to benefit from it way more than you ever will. And that is their modus operandi. That is their mode of operation. Over to you, my comment.
Hmm, that is quite interesting. Anything that you perceive to be good that they have done to you, in actual fact, is evil. They are laughing. They are having a hard laugh that these people think that we are done good to them. They don't know what's up. This is the least that we'll have done. It's crazy. And of course, I can see your comments, Edo Pikin. Thank you so much for dropping that comment. And of course, it is actually important we put all of these things into perspective so that people will not think that we are trying to cook up propaganda or trying to manufacture stuff here. Right? If anybody needs my receipt of how much I take by data in the last month, the one we will never even finish, so I will provide that receipt, 50,000 naira for 300 gig. That 300 gig now don't reach 11 gig. I must never even finish. So meaning that we have to supplement it. This is a record, and I'm not really I'm not even a consumer. I'm not even a heavy consumer of data. I don't watch video that much. Everything that I use this stuff for is just basically liberation stuff that has to do with what we do online, basically. I am not an heavy consumer. Apart from when we are online like this, that's it. For $60 a month, we get unlimited 5G data. 5G data for two phones, meaning we don't have to worry about running out of data or paying average fees. Whether we are streaming videos, using GPS, browsing social media, or working remotely or making video calls. Everything is covered under one flat monthly rate at just $30 per phone. This is quite heart wrenching, really, when Nigerians have to pay through their nose for data, really. And of course, anybody can make investigation about this. People are paying as much as 200,000 naira for data, and it's still not enough. There's some businesses in Lagos. I think the other day it was Barrister Inibe F. Young. You can go and verify that. He was complaining that the data in his office is is usually not enough. And it's not as though it is only for the office. It's not as though he's buying it for his staff. Maybe they are going to do something else with it or outside the official assignment. This is just data within the office, and it's still not enough. Comrade Shore also said something that within that line that every month is spent within the realms of 150 to 200K on data. And it's not even a major content creator. All he does is just to record his activities for the month. Whenever he's going for a protest, he goes live. Whenever he is going to a radio station, he goes live. Whenever he wants to address the press, he goes live. That's all he does. It's not as though he's a streamer. So you cannot imagine how much streamers that are on an average streaming for 12 hours, how much they are paying on a month. So it is what it is in Nigeria. And it seems as though the system is very much, rigged against you in every front in Nigeria. Everywhere you turn like this, it is rigged against the people. So let's proceed to other stories that I think it's making the rounds. Um, let us stroll and see what is happening in Nigeria. We talk about as they ought, Wetin Dey Happen, really. A young tailor is left speechless when Peter Obi comes to his shop for custom clothes. Leadership at its best, lifting up young people and helping them grow. Ha. Well, is this what we have relegated what leadership is to?
That's Nigerian politics for you.
That is how to play Nigerian
That's
politics. I
Nigerian
mean,
politics. So go and buy groundnut, go
I
to
think
shop. Nothing
this
about
is the
politics.
season.
I will suffer for this
This is
country.
the season. Please
I
proceed,
remember
man.
last election. Fashola, I no get work wey Fashola no do for last election.
Mm-hmm.
Wetin Fashola no do for last election? He do mechanical. And everywhere we see him, he go Idabasio, he go everywhere. He go church. He was just appearing everywhere for the last election. He just did everywhere for the last election. For Nigeria, this is only during election period.
How does
Nigeria,
how does it really have
that's
any
what I'm saying.
color?
He has
How does it
nothing to
have
do. And why is he voting? Is he
anything
an influencer?
remotely close to what qualifies you to be a leader? How does this have anything
They never
remotely?
have anything to say about the development of the country. They just do all this. This is why we say that they are old. Look at the form of campaign. You are going to tailor shop.
Hey,
Is this they say
um,
you're a good leader because you went to a tailor shop.
hey.
So now because say I no go tailor shop, post them online, I mean no be good leader.
Anybody who no do that one, I not be good leader.
It doesn't even
It's
make any
crazy.
sense.
Hmm.
People are talking about policies that they want to bring in power. The opposition is scrutinizing
Hmm.
what has been done by
Hmm.
the current incumbent and telling you that this is
Hmm.
wrong, and exposing it and saying this is where we will do better. But the
Hmm.
so-called opposition in Nigeria, going from place to place, they are going to market, they are going to go and meet who is selling groundnut, who is selling tailor, who is doing tailor to do custom clothes for
Hmm.
him. For the past 4 years, is this tailor? All of a sudden, he's coming to come and post this one tailor. Who has been sewing for him for the past 4 years?
I wonder. Hey, I,
Nobody they go
wo-
for him before.
I wonder. Like, so they go see.
They can't bring this one now. They want the deceive.
Politics in Nigeria
Omo.
is deep. It's deep. And I wonder what is deep around. That is what they call deep.
Yeah. They don't know how to play the
Maybe
politics.
what
This
they
is the
tend to say
politics.
is that the mentality of our people is quite very interesting. It seems as though it's very difficult for you to fathom the level of orientation of the Nigerian people about what politics should be about. It seems as though our people have a very you know warped or perhaps a
Yeah.
misrepresentation of of what
What politics
politics
is.
should be about. Yeah.
They
Mm,
believe that politics is a game or is a game. First of all, they believe politics is a game. That's the first thing first. Let's start from there.
mm,
They believe politics is a game. But sorry, politics is not a game. Politics is life and death.
mm,
Politics is life and death. And
mm,
because of the foolish political decisions we have made as a collective, as Nigerians, that is why we have Nigerians dying in their hundreds on a monthly basis in this country. Because what?
mm,
Politics is life and death. That is the first mistake
mm,
a lot of Nigerians are making. They believe it is a game. Now,
mm,
inside that game, they believe it is, inside that so-called game that they believe politics is, they appreciate the most the most disturbing form of political strategies. Things that
mm,
do not make any sense. That is what they appreciate as political strategy. You can imagine Nigerians appreciating that a coalition between a man that they claim to change the system, people who have been destroying the system and were part of the destroyers of the system as far back as 13 months ago.
mm,
They believe that that is politics. They will tell you that that's a strategy. That is the kind of politics that Nigerian people love. They will tell you that a man that is able to that is able to bring out his money to do this one, to do campaign, 250 million naira out of his money, campaign is playing strategy. They will tell you that a man who is able to corner Obi Kubana to his side, who is able to corner all the 30 governors to his side, who is able to corner all the judiciary to his side, appoint an inspector general of police, appoint an annex chairman, I appoint an annex chairman, I appoint an inspector general, they will tell you that that is strategy. That is strategy. That is the kind of politics that Nigerians want to participate in. because that is what we are used to. We are so used to the status quo that we don't think that there can be anything better than that anymore. They are not thinking, they are not trying to do better. They are satisfied with the system the way it is. That is the ridiculousness of the Nigerian situation, really. The ridiculousness of the Nigerian situation. Look at the so-called political candidate. For election period, you are running to go and meet people who are selling granules. You are going to go and meet Taylor. You are posting it online. This is very lazy. This is very lazy. This is not interest. This is not intellectual. This is not brilliant. This is not novel. This is very lazy. There's no difference between this and what politicians have been doing for the past 10, 20 years. This is poor as a political opposition. This should not even be shown online. This is a disgrace to people who believe that this man can change Nigeria. It's an insult to Nigerian people that you cannot talk to us about your policies, that you cannot talk to us about the change you intend to bring, but you're coming online here. And every time they quiz you about what you intend to do, you are incoherent. You have nothing to say. Telling us that because you went to go and see a tailor to do custom clothes for him, why did you not go and help all the... What? Is this tailor in Anambra? Anambra. Let's know now. Why did you not go and invest in the tailors in Anambra?
Mhm.
It's just a joke. These guys are just jokers. And the Nigerian people who are willing to be gullible to fall for this, And eventually they'll get tired of all this African magic show that they are giving to them. And they will know that their liberation is serious work. It's not posting online that you went to go and see Taylor, or that you went to go and buy granite of 7,000 naira for 10,000 naira. And you could not even make a subject of that. The fact that a bottle of granite that used to be sold for 500, 1,000 is now being sold for 10,000 naira, and you don't even find it ridiculous, it shows your insensitivity. And it shows its disconnection from the reality of the Nigerian people. So it's crazy, my comrade. It's crazy.
Well, let's take a listen to what Mr. Peter, in terms of sharing his policy. Let's hear what his policies on security is all about. Maybe perhaps we'll now begin to see whether or not really accusing him wrongly
The reason how will you tackle corruption?
or corruption.
Ruben, the reason why you see a lot of corruption in this country is because we have built so many toll gates
Toll
in
gate.
terms of the way we operate. First, for me, an incoming government should concentrate their energy on ensuring that there's no more, at least a very big reduction on the issue of corruption. You can change the past, but let's deal with the present. If you have a shop, let me just do it in a way people will understand. Ruben, if you have a supermarket where people are stealing, you don't close the shop and go and pursue those who are stealing, because your business will collapse. That's what happened to Nigeria. What you need to do is to do what will make you and to ensure that the incidence of stealing reduces. Put a few things.
Now, wow. We have built liberation. You're on mute.
Yeah. For as many as those that believe that, or they are thinking that, well, you guys are, you are smearing this guy. You are basically on a smear campaign to, to defame or perhaps character assassinate Mr. Peter Obi. I don't think if anybody that knows what coherence is all about, or perhaps how you should be able to articulate your plans and communicate with a people on how best you want to solve a problem. I would not be impressed with this sort of reply,
Liberation chat.
really.
Liberation chat.
Yeah.
This is a political aspirant who has run before, who cannot clearly articulate what he wants to do about corruption in Nigeria, when we know that corruption is one of the biggest problems that we have in this country. In fact, corruption is probably Arguably, corruption is the biggest problem we have in this country. We cannot coherently articulate how he intends to combat corruption, how he intends to put an end to corruption. He can't. This is someone who has run for election before. What has Peter?
Seems as though we are losing Amadege. You're welcome to the speaker section, the African Wala, and I will be passing the mic to you in any moment from now. But really, this is quite serious. This is quite serious, and it's political season where politicians should indeed be talking about how they want to pull the Nigerian project, or perhaps pull Nigerians out of the doldrums. Really, but you
Yeah,
have a billionaire pricing granite, and of course, he has a supermarket in Abuja. That same granite is sold for 11,000 naira. That same granite, and nobody would dare to say they want to price it. It's a fixed price. But it seems as though he knows what he's doing. Asking for discount from the from a mama that has probably not sold one single piece in the last 2 days. So there's so much going on with our politicians research, and of course we'll see more of these sort of things, and you'll be asking, and of course Adege has a very brilliant question: who has been sewing for you before now? Why should you have to go with a camera crew? All right, even if you want to really support a young tailor, why should you have to go with a camera crew that would really video the entire process that you are
he's
doing
just
it?
showing us how he's enjoying now. He's rubbing
I
it in
don't
our face.
think
He's rubbing it in our
this
face now
is
because
this screams so much red flag for me, really, personally. I don't know for others anyway.
rubbing it in our face because I see no reason why. I mean, we're talking about an election here. What is the meaning of all this? Don't we know how serious Nigeria problem is? What is all this that it come on our screen is showing us that he's going to a tailor's house? To what end, really? To what end? These are the
No, not,
distractions.
I think he wants to communicate that he really patronizes,
Fast.
upcoming, entrepreneurs who are
This will
into
be like
tailoring.
upcoming like this.
But has he always been? No, no. As in, my question is that has he always been the case, or he's just putting up that front now? Has he always been patronizing the tailor on the streets, or perhaps the tailor that does not have really a brand, really?
The
This is
one
an
that
unbranded, this is an unbranded kind of tailoring shop. You can't compare this now with the likes of, there's this guy, this AY brother. I don't know, I don't remember his name again. You know, he's a celebrity tailor. All right, is the brother of the AY, the comedian. I think ah, something black, something black. It's a celebrity lawyer that charges in millions, really. So, but this is just a fairly up and coming tailor who is basically finding his footing in the industry. But has this always been his policy on patronizing
yeah.
the man on the streets, really? And of course, if that is not the case, then this is a bunch of hypocritic, display or theatrics, as we might call it, really.
But this is how they do every election. I just remember that I was referring to someone who the last election and I was shouting fashion. I just thought someone who in the last election, gave it in no do. He wear tailor cloth, he wear mechanic cloth, he go where they sell food, he was everywhere. Are those the things? Does it? If you had worked, and that is the income. If you had worked as a governor, will you have to be doing all that stress? Your work will speak for you. It will speak for you. They are just trying to confuse Nigerian people, and these are the things we talk about when we say they are obsolete. These are 1996 campaign strategies. Can't work on the Nigerian people anymore. Some of us are already, becoming more politically enlightened. So we're not going to fall for all this one anymore. This one, you should return it back to Emilokan. That's it, my comrade, though.
All right, thank you so much. Let's pass the mic to the African Wala, and we have said quite a great deal today. And on Wetin Dey Happen, we have made several videos, including a popular video that we came to our attention, of a primary school teacher, showcasing the state of the classrooms and the staff room of a class in Akwa Ibom State. Akwa Ibom State is the state of the your Senate president, and he was also a former governor of that state. And the current governor have basically, built an edifice in recent time, an edifice that is dedicated to God. He used 32 billion to build that edifice. And of course, the primary schools in that state is an eyesore, really. The floors are dusty on I don't know the kind of English where I feel you safe, and of course the pupils were lying on the floor, no furnitures. They still use chalkboard. The ceilings are off, and of course we have analyzed stuff like this before. The one we analyzed the other time was the one in Imo State, the governor that is regarded as the best governor in Southeast. But it seems as though our attention is coming to the South this time around, and in the among the ethnic brothers. So this happens today. Really, I will pull out the visuals, not quite, but we have discussed that at the beginning stage of this broadcast. That is just one of the many issues that we have discussed about. But now we are basically come across this whole thing around Mr. Peter Obi. What is your comment generally? Then will now begin to take it up from there, because we are basically reacting. Many things are happening at the same time. Of course, another thing that happened today was the youths in River State. They took to the streets in support of the city boy. You need to see their numbers in huge with special vests and caps. The youths in River State. You'll be shocked. The love is massive, in River State today, and they want us to believe that that was quite an organic love. That is youth. They actually, they pull resources together, to actually stage that kind of rally in support of the city boy. So these are the things that we have reacted to earlier today. But this is where we have now, where you come meet us now. So which of it would you like to comment? And of course, what do you have for the Nigerian people today?
Yeah, thank you, comrade. When you started on that primary school conversation, the first thing that came to my mind was when I saw another image earlier this morning of a primary school. The children were singing the praises of Saint Obi. Now, these children are all in in their early teen years, maybe like 12, 13 max. They look like they were around 13 years old. And they were singing, all this, when we have in Nigeria, right, when we are going through our primary school, maybe early secondary school, JS1 to JSS3, we'll be going for debates. We'll be going for inter-school literary competitions, that you say, hey, my panel of judges, my fellow classmates, my timekeeper, good morning, good afternoon. My topic is, that was exactly what those children were doing. Now, these children were reciting all the so-called achievements of Peter Obi. Peter Obi left 15 million in the bank account of Anambra. Peter Obi left 50 billion in Zenith Bank. Peter Obi built schools, built road, built this. But you know what the irony of the conversation is? Those children, and I don't know if you came across this video, these children reciting.
Yes, I saw that video and I responded to it, and of course I can pull out the response that I gave on this particular video. I saw it hours ago, and I said, this is in a memory verse. This guy, these kids are, some of them are they're not even born. So they are not even born when Peter Obi was governor, really. So it's actually a propaganda, and this is a new law for you to shove down propaganda in the throat of these young minds. You should be teaching them about physics, teaching them about how the world works. You should expose them to man. It's crazy, man.
My comment,
it's crazy.
I've not seen this video, but what you just described, I was like, what kind of
I can pull it up, yes.
that? This is how they rewire the minds of young children. This is how they indoctrinate them into foolishness.
I'm telling you, this is social engineering. It's honest. These children, they look like they're 12, max 13. They were not even born when Saint Obi was a governor. And while they are reciting these things, this memory verse, their classroom is literally outside on the sand. Let me explain how painful this was to me. The classroom of these children was outside under the sun. No flooring. The floor was sand. Iyekpe. Their floor was sand. There was no roof. If it started raining immediately, they would have to go find shelter. Now, these children that are currently victims of Nigeria, suffering because of how horrible Nigerian politicians ruined Nigeria, they are praising a politician that they don't even know. So do you now see how Nigeria works on the minds of people from just one angle? It's the most low down, dirty, scummish behavior that people can have to indoctrinate innocent children that are also victims of these evil politicians into loving the politicians that cheated them. And that's Nigeria for you. That is the Nigerian politics. The Nigerian victims, adults that are victims of these Nigerian politicians, they indoctrinate innocent people to start thinking like them. So those children, they don't even know anything about politics, but they are already praising Peter Obi without knowing anything about politics while being victims of the politicians themselves. And it's such a shame. But let me go back to the first description. You know, you were saying something about the Akwa Ibom primary school and these children in Akwa Ibom. I saw that video yesterday. They were sitting down on the floor, you know, just no, it's everywhere in Nigeria. Every single state in Nigeria has a bunch of schools where children are sitting on the floor. They don't have adequate classroom infrastructure. If they want to go and use the bathroom, they probably go to the bush. You know, it's just a mess. The teachers, their salary is probably 40,000 naira per month. They don't even get paid that salary. They have to genuflect for their principal, and their principal has to genuflect for the local government chairman or
Or they'll go
anyone.
and start betting.
And now, if you are betting,
I say, or they'll
your
start
revenue
betting
from
because
betting,
that is what we are seeing in Nigeria now. I don't know if you heard, we were talking about betting before we came in, that poverty has driven half of Nigerian people to, they say over 60 million Nigerians spend $5.5 million on betting per day.
so the
And it's
betting
the poor
companies are
ones.
even making money. The betting companies are making money from the poor Nigerians. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? These betting companies, I mean, the Nigerian government, I don't know if you guys heard this morning, they've implemented a new law in which they're going to be taxing people, I mean, winnings from bets. So if you win a bet, you guys that like betting, Man U versus Arsenal, hey, up Man U, you
You
go
pay
and put your
tithe.
money there. You'll
Pay
pay
tithe.
tax
So
to the government. You
you
will
must pay
pay
your tithe.
tax to the government. And
So
it's
this one
because
will be
we have a horrible system.
the African one, like this one are tight. So don't be tax, are tight. Pay your tithe.
You know, so it's unfortunate that this is how our society works, and I'm so happy that we are able to show the way we ended up here, because we're showcasing our mindset, the mindset of the people, why many people behave the way they do. You see all those people, a lot of those, to me, they've become robots. A lot of those robots that you see on social media that will be saying stupid stuff about politics. Hey, Peter will be or nothing. Ashiwaju till 2039. You know, all those idiot robots that we find online, they've been indoctrinated. Our society created zombies and robots. And I'm also trying not to be too disparaging against Nigerians because, you know, once you become disparaging towards them, they become defensive and they never want to listen to anything. But sometimes you just have to tell them the truth because they've started behaving like robots. They can't think for themselves. They've been indoctrinated from young ages so that when they grow up into adults, they still can't think for themselves. I mean, it's clear as day. You said it, Adeke, that just a few months ago, like 13 months ago, the guys that these Nigerians, these so-called obedience, were campaigning against, the people that they hated. This is, you can't even make this up. They hated Atiku, they hated El Rufai, and they hated Malami. Today, they are in support of Malami, Atiku, and El Rufai. And those guys that I've mentioned, they are still billionaires, while the people that are now campaigning for them are still poverty stricken. So how do we explain this? And I'll tell you guys one thing, because I've understood the psychology of Nigerians for a long time. You see, during that Buhari's era, that was when Nigeria took me through different levels of emotion. I went through a spectrum of emotion under Buhari. I went through severe mental stress under Buhari's administration. So what Tinubu is doing now, to me, Buhari has already trained me. So nothing surprises me. Let me just put it that way. Do you know that under Buhari's administration, you would find a lot of people from that part of the country where Buhari was from, just because they are from the same region of the country that he was from, or they are from the same religion, or they are from the same ethnic group. Even though these people are suffering, they've died of hunger, poverty has finished their lives, Boko Haram is kidnapping them every day from morning till night. Let me tell you something, they will still defend Buhari. Oh, yes. I don't understand how strong the human psychology is, but that Buhari's era showed me that human psychology is crazy. A dying man can support the person that is killing him, because that's how human psychology can be wired. You would find people that Boko Haram had just kidnapped them, their family members, so they ran away into the bush. While inside that bush, hiding from Boko Haram, these people, if you took a microphone and a camera in front of them and asked them questions about Buhari, listen, why is Buhari not protecting your community? Do you know that if you that is asking them that question, if you don't look like what they like, they might turn against you and say that, get out, we love Buhari. These are people literally hiding in the bush because Boko Haram just killed their family members and burned down their house. While hiding in that bush, they are still going to support Buhari. So you now ask yourself, Omo, which kind of problem it is? How do we resolve this situation? Well, all I can say is we just have to keep on talking about it, because maybe when we say it this way, some people might realize what they have been doing and how foolish they look, and maybe they will change some. And also, we just have to continue preaching the reality of a revolution, that is the only approach to even stand a chance to have a society. Because as it stands right now, we don't have a society. Our chances of ever having a good society is minuscule. It's almost next to nothing. In fact, I'm so sorry for anybody that wants to repair Nigeria at this point, because Nigeria has been severely damaged. Not just the physical infrastructure or the economy or security, but the psychology of the people has been severely damaged. And it's possible to restore humanity in the minds of Nigerians, but it's going to take a lot of work. And we just have to keep on preaching the revolutionary message that this is the way forward. A revolution is going to do away with the old things. We are still going to have a lot of those old things creeping up from time to time, because we've built a culture and a society based on those old things that are anti-human, anti-development. But if we take a bold stand, or if a huge percentage of us take a bold stand that we want to do away with these behaviors, we want a complete overhaul of the system, we are changing the constitution, we are changing the way we do things, we don't care about the old path has gone. We are now in a new future. Yes, we are poor, but we are going to start afresh from where we are. If we can accomplish that and we can continue pushing forward for that, then maybe we stand a chance to have a society. And to me, the only organization that is going that path, towing that path that I just explained, is the AAC. Because you see, the leadership of the AAC, Mr. Showore has proven it to every one of you guys. All you Nigerians, all you obedient, all you Asiwaju slaves, you know that Showore has proven it to you. But that your Nigerian culture makes it difficult for you to accept that you want to do away with the old ways. And it's because you are used to doing things the old way. And let's be honest with ourselves, doing things the old way is what led us to become the poverty capital of the world. when we've been the poverty capital of the world for about 8 years now, 8 years in a row. Nobody has we overtook India in 2017 as the poverty capital of the world. Back then, number one was India, number two, Nigeria, number three, Congo. Right now, today, Nigeria is number one, and it has been number one since 2018, poverty capital of the world. The country with the highest number of people living in multi-dimensional poverty. Number two, we are now officially, at the end of 2025, the country with the lowest life expectancy in the world because of the way we do things, because of the way we think, because of the way we run our society. We are a mess. We are the country with the lowest life expectancy in the world. We are also the country with the worst standard of living in the world. And you can double check all these things. The country with the worst living conditions in the world is Nigeria. Number one is Nigeria. Number two is Bangladesh. How do they calculate these things? They calculate your access to medication. They calculate how easy it is for you to get killed or to be a victim of terrorism by chance compared to other countries as a Nigerian. They calculate your life expectancy and your human development index. These are the criteria that they put together to come up with these rankings. Nigeria ranks at the bottom. And it wasn't this way 10 years ago. Progressively got worse up to this position that we are in. We are now number last in the world. Everybody is teaching us a lesson. All the other Africans are laughing at us. We deserve it because for the most part, a lot of Nigerians, they live in past glory. They want to always imagine those days in the 70s, in the early 80s, when Nigeria was a big brother in Africa, ECOMOG soldiers going around wars, preventing chaotic societies. So Nigeria live in the past glory. But unfortunately, reality tells us that we are the last in the world. Even countries like Sudan and Somalia, they rank higher than us in many of these criteria. So gone are those days when we used to use Sudan as an example, or rather Somalia. Gone are those days when we used to use Somalia as an example. We are the example today. We are the asshole of the world today. And, hey, I apologize about my vulgarity, but it is what it is. Sometimes you need to pass the message in a raw form so that it hits you differently. And we have to change our ways. You can't continue following the same politicians that have destroyed your lives. In fact, some of you guys, you're so dumb that because you love Obi, you've painted Obi as a superhero, as an angel. Now, the Obi that you claim that you love, he is telling you that he loves criminals. He loves people that you guys have called criminals, like Atiku, El Rufai, Malami, Aregbesola, David Mark, Rotimi Amechi. You know that these guys are criminals. And your beloved Obi says they are his brothers. Then because you're so stupid and you can't think for yourself, you now associate those people that you tagged as criminals as people that you want to support. Then the mess continues. And then you guys start doing some low down dirty stuff. You are indoctrinating children to start praising and worshiping useless politicians. Man, Nigeria is a mess. And I really hope people change their ways. Otherwise, we go nowhere. That's my contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. The African Wahala. That was quite, fiery, and of course, that was straight to the point. And to a large extent, you have, basically explained to us what the reality of Nigeria is and how to escape from it. You have provided us, you have reminded us of the problem, and you have provided with a solution. And of course, I would like to remind the audience, and of course, I believe the African Wala must have heard also that talking about Omoyele Sowore, there is this very profound judgment that happened today in Federal High Court in Ikoyi, Lagos today, where the judge declared a judgment that the Nigerian police should pay Sowore damages of 30 million naira for declaring him wanted without court order. This was, if you remember, a time when the Lagos CP, Commissioner of Police, declared Sowore wanted without any court order or any process to that effect. So he approached the court, and the court has delivered, or perhaps, basically, justice was served today And of course, it is actually a reminder that abuse of power comes with consequence. Abuse of power comes with consequence. And to further continue in our taking a look at Wetin Dey Happen today, all right, we don't hear also say the government is trying to ban dispatch riders in Abuja. And there you have them protesting on the streets that the federal government is about to take their means of livelihood from them. And this is becoming a pattern. Yesterday, we actually took a look at how the government of Lagos banned minibus in Lekki, Ibejuleki area. And the bus drivers staged a protest, really. And of course, they clamped down on the protesters. And of course, um, instead of addressing their concerns, they rather, arrested them and, locked them up without addressing their concerns. Now it's getting to us today that the federal government is about to ban dispatch ride. And this is a huge ecosystem, for moving stuff from point A to point B, delivery of foods, delivery of packages, and all sorts. And you now be wondering, why would they do such a thing to such an avenue that really gives people the opportunity to make a living? And you now be wondering, is there any alternative that they have provided for these ones? Goshe government don't provide alternative for them to earn a living. And if not, is government prepared for the ripple effect of taking means of livelihood from the from the mouths of these ones? As government won't shut them down, so should government prepared on what would most likely happen as a ripple effect to this? I see your comment. Thank you so very much, Edo Pikin. Thank you very much indeed. That this comment says basic necessities such as food, fuel, electricity, housing, healthcare, communication, and education are becoming increasingly expensive, despite being a major oil producing nation. Fuel fuel prices have surged following subsidy removal, placing extra pressure, all right, on transportation and goods. At the time, electricity supply remains inconsistent, yet consumers will face high estimated billing. This is quite a very long one. It's quite very precise. It highlights the reality of the Nigerian people. What are Nigerian people going through really in the hands of system? There's so much pressure on the Nigerian people. And of course, with the look of things, it seems as though the federal government wants to add to that pressure by suspending or banning or dispatch riders in Abuja. These guys, they are a huge participants in the economy. They move stuff from point A to point B. Packages, goods, they move food items, they move laundry items from point A. So these guys perform a very important role in the economy. Why would you want to ban them? And it's becoming a pattern, as I've said before. Yesterday, the government of Lagos State also banned minibus in Ibejuleki. These bus drivers were crying yesterday. We saw the video. Women among them also saying that where do they want to start? Where is your alternative for them? Seems as though the government is not providing any succor for them. The next comment by Edo Pikin says, for many POP, us who feel frustrated. Okay, for many people, who feel frustrated with the current economic and political climate, That is why we argue that Omoyele Sowore represents a different path for Nigeria. Yes, he indeed represents a different path for Nigeria. If the Nigerian people are willing to really explore that different route that many has, really, really regard as a pathway to liberation. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. Please, if you have not subscribed, please kindly subscribe now. And please, on all our platform also, we have how many of us on X? Let me verify. Oh, we have 118 of us on X. Wow. Thank you so much on X. It seems as though our message is beginning to resonate to certain quarters. And there's a whole lot for us to really unpack, and this is just one of it, you know. Can you see this road? Can you see? This is one of the roads that, hey, you know, is we are in trouble in Africa, and we have leaders. Leaders. All right. I understand that this is not really even in Nigeria, but there are indeed roads like this in Nigeria. Do not kid yourself. But look at it. This is terrible. This is
Whoa!
you can see the hype.
Let them motor
The hyping of this whole thing. This can be disastrous. Really, disaster can strike any moment as a result of stuff you can see, and this is quite terrible. And anywhere in Africa that this is actually happening, or perhaps this is their reality, the politicians in that region should be ashamed of themselves. Really, should be ashamed. We also saw the fighting of two people in the train. So much tension in Lagos. So much tension in Lagos. All right. And of course, there's also a soundbite we came across today where obedient premier, it is advisable ADC coalition urgently reach out to President Trump for help with honest monitoring of 2027 presidential election. APC did same in 2015. ADC, Peter Obi, Yunus Atanko, anything that would disrupt APC rigging of 2027 election should be activated. Let's take a listen to what these our brother have to tell us. Let's take a listen, just briefly. It's a very long video.
When Peter and his team seek audience with the president of the United States, briefing him face to face and calling him for help towards the 2027 general election, when are they going to do that? This is exactly what APC did during the regime of Barack Obama when they wanted to push Jonathan out of power. They seek audience with the US president, the United States authority, and by all of that, they got Jonathan out of power. When will Peter Obi and his team get all of that done? Peter Obi must put his team together. I don't know if Atiku Abubakar can finally enter the US, because I also heard that he had a record that will not allow him enter into that country. But whoever among the ADC is clean enough to visit the US, seek an audience with the president of the United States, let him know the state of things. Nobody should tell me about sovereignty. There's no sovereignty anymore. America is already here fighting security, which is a proof that the country has no internal government. So we have no government. Nigeria have no government on their own. That is why America is here fighting insecurity. So if America is here to fight insecurity, they can as well help us get a better election. So Peter Obi, His Excellency, the people's.
This is quite serious, and of course, I'm very, very much interested in videos of ordinary Nigerians like this. Now, this is an ordinary Nigerian who is not really, this is the mindset that he has. And of course, yeah, it's logical based on what happened, the antecedents of the APC, how the APC actually kicked out PDP. Nigerians are pressuring the ADC to replicate to replicate religiously all the things that all of the games and tactics that APC pulled out of their sleeves to basically get the PDP administration out of power. This is just what he's saying. And of course, is there any proof that the APC lobbied with Barack Obama? Maybe, perhaps, maybe not. Maybe because of the take it back, they bring back our girls, that his wife participated in. And of course, there is this also infamous, address by Barack Obama. There's this famous address that he actually addressed. The Nigerian people should take the bull by the horn this time around. We saw what Barack Obama did there. That it seems as though when the president of the United States give a comment on the election, and of course he used some terminologies that favors the opposition, many would say that that is, the president of the United States right there trying to endorse the opposition, and that is what is happening, and that is what they are recommending for the ADC now, that the ADC should lobby with Donald Trump so that he can issue like a video that will talk about the Nigerian election. And of course, they will also supervise the election, that is, be the electoral umpire to supervise the election, or perhaps pressure the government to allow foreign hands to. Well, what do you have to say about this, my dear audience? So that I will not be seen as, trying to hit hard on, the Nigerian people, or perhaps citizens like myself trying to express himself. But I see so much danger here. It seems as though we are trying to, we want to jump from fry pan to fire, or perhaps we want to put our sovereignty. We want the sovereignty we don't scatter before. We want to bury it finally. Seems as though the remaining part of the sovereignty that we are using as theatrics, we want to dismantle everything completely. All right, but it's arguable that we do not have anything called sovereignty in the first place. But that dignity, at least we are pretending to have that dignity. Why should we always call on external factors, or perhaps seek for mercenaries, all right, to get our problems solved in Africa, and of course in Nigeria as the focus here? Don't we believe that we can actually ensure a free, fair election, and we can make the electoral umpire to do the right thing, or we can even create our own mechanism to monitor the process such that we know beyond every reasonable doubt that an election is either credible or not? The African Wala, it seems as though you want to react to that. Please proceed.
Yeah, it boils down to low self-esteem that a lot of our people are suffering from. We've been so battered, we've been so maltreated for so long, over multiple generations, that we now have a population that majority suffers from low self-esteem and inferiority complex. And that's why they are always looking up to their daddy. They are looking up to Trump. They are looking up to the EU, looking up to China, always looking up to someone else to come and rescue us. You see, it's so bad that even when you know someone doesn't like you, like in the case of Trump, I mean, any African that has common sense, it's not so difficult for you to see that Trump clearly does not respect Africans and he doesn't like us. Clearly, this guy banned African countries from coming to the United States and then opened up a doorway for only Caucasian South Africans to move to the United States. Only the Caucasians in South Africa. Every other Africa group, no, you're banned, you're from shithole countries, we don't want you in the United States. Trump goes out of his way to disrespect African people all the time. But yet, you see, the same African people, they still look up to him. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. It's even more understandable if you were looking up to, let's say, Joe Biden. And I'm not saying Joe Biden is any better than Trump. They are the same to me. Or Obama. I'm not saying Obama is better than Trump or Biden. To me, they are all the same. they work for their own system. If you were looking up to someone like Joe Biden or Obama, it's a little bit more understandable because those ones, they don't blatantly let you know that they don't like you. They don't blatantly put it out there. But Trump blatantly, listen, Marco Rubio, his Secretary of State, he recently went to Europe. He was telling them, the Europeans, that listen, guys, we have to restart colonization. We are not going to be apologetic about our imperialistic ways. We have to re-implement colonization because that's how we became strong in the first place. That's how we became the strong Western empire in the first place. But yet, you know, and at the same time, the reason why we behave this way is a lot of us are not really exposed. We don't really know what's going on around the world. We are so focused on trying to survive. Our day-to-day survival has taken over every aspect of our brains. So we don't even understand when our enemies are staring at us in the eyes. We don't know. We look up to our enemies. You saw that Russian guy. He came to Africa, Kenya, and Ghana, and he was sleeping with different women because they have low self-esteem. They look up to Europeans. They look up to Chinese. They look up to Indians. They look up to Latin Americans. They look up to everybody that is non-African. If an African person, listen, if a Caucasian or a Chinese gets to an average African airport versus me, an African, that Caucasian or the Chinese will more likely get treated with respect than I would be. Because that's just the way the world is today. And that's part of why we have to be Pan-Africanists. Because we have to find a way to remove this inferiority complex that is as a result of generations of trauma, centuries of slavery, colonization, oppression, new colonization. It has fucked up our brains. We now are people that have low self-esteem. Well, the good thing is it's not every one of us that has that low self-esteem. Many of us genuinely don't have low self-esteem any longer. We used to, because we got some exposure, we did some mental training, and we unlearned so many things. Then we started becoming partly normal human beings, right? You think about this parallel. You are looking up to Donald Trump, a guy that doesn't like you, a country that told you that you're a shithole country, and they came and dropped bombs in your country. They didn't kill any terrorists. They simply came and dropped bombs and then put their troops so that they can have control over your territory. That's why they did what they did. They came to drop those bombs on Christmas Day so that they could eventually deploy 200 soldiers, American soldiers in Nigeria, so that they can have access to our space. That's all it is, for their own interest. They are not coming to train Nigerian soldiers to fight against terrorism. They've been doing that for the past 30 years. How far? How did that end up? We have been collaborating with America and all these other foreign countries for at least 30, 40 years. Training, logistics, everything. Where did we end up? We ended up at the bottom. So it's no longer working. And that's why people like us, we don't appreciate doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. However, when it comes to that guy's commentary advising the ADC, ADC is made up of corrupt politicians. The ADC, just like the APC and the PDP, is made up of corrupt, career criminal politicians that ruined Nigeria. Now, somehow, some way, those corrupt politicians have been able to manipulate the brains of Nigerians. So Nigerians are supporting them again. Okay. No surprise, it happens all the time. Now, you're telling the ADC to implement the same pattern that the APC implemented in 2014, which is true because the APC went to Barack Obama. They used the Bring Back Our Girl campaign. Michelle Obama put up a post on her Twitter back then in 2014 about Bring Back Our Girls. It became a huge story. And that was part of the campaign that supported the emergence of APC in Nigeria. And then APC came and completely destroyed Nigeria. So a lot of Nigerians now, they will blame Obama and the Liberal Party of the US for APC. Okay, that's fine. Now you're telling us, this guy, an old man, because that's an adult, is telling us, or not us, because I'm not a part of their sub-coalition, is telling themselves that they should go and report to Trump to come and help them win elections. What that is you are trying to do the same thing that has been done in the past that yielded a mess of a country. You are trying to do the same thing again. What do you think the end result is going to be like? Let's even think for ourselves. What do you think the end result is going to be like if you have done this in the past before and it led you into hell? Do you think doing that again in the future is going to lead you to hell again? Well, I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to lead them to hell. I can't even imagine a situation where Trump and the US government interferes with the Nigerian elections and ADC emerges victorious. What is going to happen is Nigeria will turn into a worse situation than it currently is. Well, you see, like you said earlier when I came into the live stream, to Nigerians, politics is like a game. It's like Man U versus Arsenal. So right now, they are in that game mode mentally, and they are going to do anything to support their team. To them, it's a game, even though they are the ball. They are the ball that is getting kicked around. You look at them, they have lumps all over their heads. They don't have food in their belly. They don't have electricity. They don't have nothing good in life. They are the ball, literally, getting kicked around by the politicians, but they support the politicians to keep on kicking them around because they've chosen to play the role of the ball in that game of Nigerian politics. So the end result is going to be more poverty, more pain, more suffering. And what they are supposed to do is to start believing in themselves. You know, if an average Nigerian believed in themselves, they would follow Shore. You see, people like us that believe in ourselves, we believe in our ability as African people, and we don't have low self-esteem. We don't believe that African people are dumb. We don't look up to other people to come and rescue us. People like us are the ones that follow revolutionary ideas like the AAC and Shore because we have self-confidence and we are hopeful in our own abilities. But unfortunately, Nigeria has made people so useless, so hopeless, with severe low self-esteem that they no longer can have any hope in themselves. And they are always looking up to their oppressors to come and rescue them. So it is what it is. Nigerians need to simply start having more self-confidence. Stop looking at other people like they are your gods. They are just human beings. They bleed red, they shit brown. There is nothing different between you and them. And that's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. The African Wahala. Wow. Interesting take there. That we should really have a very healthy self-esteem. You know, it's a very thin line between a very healthy self-esteem such that you don't have low self-esteem or you don't have superiority complex. So it's a very interesting balance there. But we have to
Liberation.
really have a great sense of, yeah, I can hear you very well.
So you see, there was something that the African Wala said. Can you hear me clearly?
Not clearly, but yeah, but it's manageable. Please proceed.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, better now, far better now.
Uh-huh. As I was saying, I said there was something that the African Wala said, and you you see, you once you know someone that has passed through the same process that you are passing through, you can tell. He said something. He said, "We are now becoming more human." What he has painted to the people is that we have decolonized ourselves. We are in the process of decolonizing ourselves. Because you see, what Liberation Child was also saying in the sense that he said, there's a thin line where you have your self-esteem in a way that your self-esteem is not too low, and in a way that it does not become superiority complex. It takes training. It takes you understanding that the world does not revolve around you, but you have a part to play in the system that you were born into. It takes a level of consciousness. And this is just the difference between us and a lot of Nigerian youths. These things don't come, and this thing is not even a function of how wealthy you are or how much money you have. It's not. It's not. because there are people who live very humble lives, very gentle lives. They don't have as much resources. They are not the wealthiest, they are not the richest, but they are ideologically grounded. They have self-respect, they have self-discipline. And these are people who are willing to reclaim the country into the hand, reclaim our own father's land into our own hands. And that is the biggest work we have to do, to reclaim our own land, to reclaim our own destiny. Look at Peter Randy. Peter Randy is one of the biggest faces when you want to talk about people who seek for liberation and justice in the country. Just look at that. And this is why people wonder sometimes that, oh, you people, it's as if you people don't even, today, you are friends with this one, tomorrow. No. It's not just about seeking freedom and liberation. No, it's not just about that. Self-determination is also important, because you cannot be free from any one man coming to come and give you your freedom. Freedom is not given. Freedom is not served on the platter. Freedom is taken. You're not giving your freedom. You're not going to be giving your liberation. Every time we, as Black people, have ever moved further in terms of our liberation in history, anytime we have ever moved further in terms of justice, anytime we have ever moved further in terms of development, it has always been as a result of struggle. We had to struggle for it. We had to fight for it. We had to pull it. We had to carry it hands out of the hands of the people who decided that they will not give us they will not allow us to breathe. So this issue of it, and this is why we are different. Look, it's only logical. It's only logical. Our struggle is only logical. Best believe our struggle is only logical. It makes no sense for a group of people who have been in power since the 90s to still be in power now. Most of these people, they are old men. They should be retired. They have been carried. I mean, what is the retirement age in Nigeria? There are a few criteria for retirement in Nigeria. They say you must have worked for government for over 30-something years and you must be over a certain age. And best believe all these are politicians, especially all the ones running for governorship now, except they have all met the criteria. They should retire from politics. They have done their job. Go and rest. Let the Nigerian youth take it up from there. We, the Nigerian youth, are saying we want to play our own role. That is all we want to do. We are saying we want to play our own role. This is our time. Go and rest. Period. It's not a big deal. Why do you still want to be there? And then, unfortunately, the majority of our young youth, the majority of young Nigerians, what do they want to do? They want to pack themselves and rally behind all these old men. Every year, it's the same thing. Old men will run for election. Young men will rally themselves behind them. Instead of us to tell them, relax, don't worry, we'll do the work. If we need advice, we'll come and ask you. That is what the nations are built, with the strength of the young and the experience of the old. You don't have, because the old people don't have that strength anymore, that vigor. They are not in touch with the times. And that is why our country, it is not rocket science. This is easy for anybody to deduce. It's easy for anybody to deduce. These people are not, many of them don't even know how to use the phones that they carry in their hand. These people are not technologically savvy. They are still living in the old era. So they are confused. And most of the things that they see, it shocks them. They don't even know these things. So why do you want to put your future in the hands of those kind of people? It's absolute madness, you know. It's absolute madness. That's what I want to just add to what the African Wahala said. Beautiful summation from the African Wahala, by the way.
Thank you, my comrade. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. The summary is very, very loud and clear. All right. You should actually, take up your own cause and champion your own cause, champion your own struggle, own the struggle. Right. That is what is called patriotism. Patriotism is not be for mouth. Being a compatriot, not be for mouth, not by action. It's by what you do to actually ensure your country doesn't fall in the hands of those that would bring it to disrepute. Patriotism is when you invest, you exert yourself into the Nigerian project, your country's project, to make it a thing of pride in the community of nations. That is exactly what patriotism is all about, right? And of course, many analysts would say that Nigeria is under siege right now, under a political and economic siege. Now, many people would say what Nigeria needs right now are patriotic Nigerians. Nigerians who would rise to the occasion, who would take up there and say, well, this is our project. We are not going to be at the mercy of the billionaires. All right. And of course, this will take us to the next news that says, so this is what City Boys nonsense is all about. This is a gathering of the big boys, the big high and mighty, where they are. I don't know why network is doing me like this really, but they are having a discussion. Of course, for anybody to be a billionaire, it's logical. The person must have had one or two businesses and a very big networks of workers working under them. There was this video where Cubana chief priest was saying that yeah, he has over 1,000 people working under him. This is just Cubana chief priest. He says he has two over 1,000 people working under him. And of course, we know, I've always said it, that whoever pays the piper dictates the tune. And of course, the federal government are already doing the exact same thing. All these workers that are working under Cubana chief priest, under Obi Cubana, those that are working in Zenko, those that are working under Yul Edochie, all these guys, don't you think they would automatically, based on the influence of their boss, really fall in line? And that also very much highlights what happened when Cubana chief priest visited home recently. There was a huge crowd, right? And of course, area father was posting an AI video of people using sticks to run after Cubana chief priest, that they are going to push him out of the community. Really? You think?
Delusional. Delusional.
I just
Delusional.
I shake my head and say, "Ah, and this is a 70-year-old man, like
My comrade.
Asari Dokubo.
Asari Dokubo would say."
70-year-old.
Sorry, comrade, can you read that thing again, please?
What is on the screen, right?
Yes. My screen is
Yes.
bad here, sorry.
City boys are looking for all the Igbo billionaires with industry to buy them with ego, so they can convince all their workers to vote for APC. If not, your salary, Abba Miri Miri, that is, I don't know what that will mean in Igbo language. Okay, I think it's
Small.
playing now. I think it's playing now. Let me play.
We have to put their salary bill. And this is a man who has approximately 500 people working under this facility. So that's the 500 votes.
Network. So network is not allowing us to play the entire thing. But well, I think there's even a music underground, and of course that might even flag our live stream. But the thing is that the whole discussion is about the fact that how ruthless billionaires can be. Even business owners in Nigeria. I had worked for a particular laundry firm in Unilag. I can never forget in my life. And I was just being a good boy.
They don't show my coverage again. I can never forget in life.
I can never forget it. This was just even long before I set up my small outfit. So I was working in the dry cleaning outfit. Is a very big dry cleaning edge. We usually treat not less than 200 items per day. We are about 4 ironers. There are about 6 washers. And you know what it is? Of course, in Nigeria, don't kid yourself. Washing machines doesn't really cut it with how Nigerians use their clothes. This is not any
Yep.
way denigrating Nigerians. The
Mm-hmm.
way Nigerians use their clothes. So you have to, after the washing machine must have done some basic work, all right, like 60% of the general washing. There will still be group of washers that would have to deal with the tough areas like the neck, the sleeves, and the rest like that. So is a pretty much decently big company. We are like about 20 workers. There's a dispatch rider, and of course, there are so yeah, there's front decks also with like 4 branches. So what am I getting to? December time reach for everybody to be giving a December salary. But me, I don't get them for mine. Say I don't go resume the the coming year. So I tell my guys we did for department, ironing department. I said I no go resume next year. I get some kind of thing where I want go do. All right. It has to do with my education. So they tell me say, no tell them say you won't come out to no tell them say you won't no tell am. If you tell am, will give you your money. Oh. No tell am. I say, why wouldn't normally I should inform Oga now, say, so that I go feel prepare, to employ another person in my post. They say no, they tell me, no tell am, no tell am. So Momumi self go
You
work to
go tell
Oga.
him. No tell
I,
him. No
I,
tell him. You go tell him.
I walked I walked up to him when he came to his normal inspection. This is around 18th of December. I cannot forget. He was supposed to pay us on the 22nd, according to him, so that everybody can go and have fun for December and come back the first week of January. So I was like telling him that, well, I think I would not be joining the team for next year. So I think I'll have some other things that are very, very important for me to address. So and said, really? What? And you're not telling me, you're telling me now. You're telling me now. Something that you have told me about 6 months ago. You should have informed me at least 6 months. So you want to make the company stranded. Also, how do you want me to do it within 2 weeks? And of course, this is someone that even me, maybe say I entered the company. Now, true, there are signboards everywhere. We be saying don't post signboards everywhere. There are even people that are already online to take my. But he just needed that excuse, really. He just needed the excuse, and of course, like play.
It was a
I
perfect
thought it was
excuse.
a joke. Oh. I thought he no pay me. Oh.
Hmm.
He no pay me.
And
Oh.
that's
He
you
no
no
pay
pay you your
for
last salary.
December, we say my mom, I have to sort my mom, my dad. My dad had stroke at that time, so I needed money so badly. All right, so and he was that ruthless. All right, he said he's not going to pay, and he's not paying me. All the other workers were just looking at me like this. They were just shaking their heads.
Because they
I will
want,
do.
but you see, but liberation
They
charge.
look
You
say
see,
they go look say who be this good citizen? Which they do good, who they do good boy.
No, they say
no.
who be this, who be this mumu?
Liberation charge.
They say
Liberation
who be
charge.
this
You see,
mumu boy?
I always say something. I always say something
So,
anytime we talk, and I always tell you that in Nigeria, you decide to do the good thing, you are the biggest fool. In
Yes.
fact, people will be looking at you like they go to talk and say, see, you don't even know a day. You don't know a day. That's what they will be telling you. I say, if I did drive that time, if I stop for red light, they go to on for me. Say, what do you think you are doing? Why will you stop for the red light? I say, what do you mean by why will I stop for the red light? I don't know why the red is red. Why is it there? The liberation. If you are the one doing the good things in Nigeria, I tell you for a fact, you are the biggest fool. People will laugh at you. Because in Nigeria, this is the psychological problem we have. This is how bad it is. We have been so trained to want to do the wrong thing, never
Always
to do the right
cutting
thing.
corners.
Every time, always cutting corners. It's so bad. It is just so terrible. And this is why. Listen, liberation chat. Yeah, definitely. What happened to you at that point in time was a very terrible thing. But what you did, I mean, your life has not ended after it all. At the end of the day, has your life ended? So this
it no end, oh boy. Be like say life won't end that time. It's like I was working.
definitely.
And funny enough, I was so depressed. I was walking home and I was visibly depressed. And of course, I believe one of his competitors in that same unit, like I'm putting name to it now. One of the competitors
Hmm.
were just driving by, and he knew me that I'm what part of his high honors, and of course
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the best. That is not. He don't they tell me about talk about me to that one. Say, my
Okay.
high honors are fire. That that they shop work like. So that one saw me. It was like, waiting they do me. Waiting happen. He was using a golf that time. So I said, I cannot pay me money. He said, wait. He said, what? He can't call him for my face. He called my guy. He said, why not give this boy? He said, don't mind the boy. He's a stupid boy. I cannot be telling me that he's going to not come back and resume. And that one, as if that one knew him, and it's like, well, okay, can you take up a freelance job? And of course, from there, I entered the guy car, go do overnight. I did overnight because it was on the 18th. So I
Mm-hmm.
did overnight for like stretch of 1 week just to
Hey
have something
God.
to read. A
Liberation
week
chat. So
of
you see,
overnight. So
this is
people
what
are
Nigerians go
ruthless.
through.
So
This is
you can
what
imagine
Nigerians
that
go
guy
through.
imagine that guy being a billionaire, all right? And of course, any of his workers say that they are not going to take a stand for city boy movement.
That's the end. That's how
You
liberation
know,
chat.
go even think and twice. These guys are very
See,
ruthless people.
liberation chat. That's how terrible these people are. But I wanted to tell you
Mm,
something. You see, you survived and you made it through, and that is the thing. Nigerians don't
mm,
want to have that moment of okay, chill. I'll go through this for the future, for the better future. We just want to go through the easiest route. We want to sell ourselves, and Nigeria. I understand the country makes it hard. The country makes it hard for you not want to do all these kind of things. I mean, look at your story now. Just listen to your story. You say, "Mama, they
That's a
wait, Papa,
crazy
they wait,
story.
picking they wait, everybody they wait." This is not even January. This is not February. This is not March. This is December. This is December when everybody is trying their best to make ends meet. This is end of the month. This guy not looking, and the crazy part is, see, liberation. I dey tell you, say anywhere really that you work, all you need to do is give them a 2 weeks notice that you are tired and you want to leave, and you are allowed to leave. Which one be 6 months notice? Which one be
No,
6 months
no.
notice?
Even general manager of First Bank now 2 weeks notice be the requirement. But
Yes,
because we have a
everywhere.
lawless country,
2 weeks notice. So what are you telling me? I should give you 6 months notice to do what? Okay, no, okay, I didn't give you 6 months notice. I've given you 2 weeks. Why can't you not even negotiate with you and say, okay, you know what? You want to close next, you want to leave next year. Okay, 1 month. Let's see how we can negotiate it. I don't have anybody yet. Can you find somebody? That is how people who love liberation chat. Well, I'm happy that you survived it, and this is the situation, and this is just see, some Nigerians have gone through some terrible, terrible, terrible things. The country just sets you up to be exploited. Nigeria sets
yeah.
you up to be exploited. Sets you up to be exploited. It's just ridiculous, man. Liberation, see,
Comrade,
guy.
again, let me add one thing. Nigeria sets you up to be exploited, and Nigeria sets you up to become someone that cuts corner. And that's why many Nigerians, they love cutting corners. We are digging into why we are the way we are as a society and why we are where we are.
Deep stuff.
and of course, talking about cutting corners, I am pretty much I can be proud. Of course, this is a public something. Any people who know me, right? Now only me for that particular company. Maybe say I know they take side job. I like they pay your salary now. Why would they do all these runs? And some of them will use the company's soap. They will use the dryer. They will even use the packaging nylon to run some paro within our department, because there are different departments. There's ironing department, there's a washing department. But among us, the washers, maybe say that they do their own personal stuff. They run them. But me, I won't use this one do, because if Oga go cash us income, me I dey get I dey get fear of that kind of thing. It's a wrong thing to do. But in actual fact, and I'm now retrospecting now, that the reason why many of them do all of those things, not because they are really pretty much bad people, but because they are trying to adapt to a system that is cornered against them.
The
All right.
system
And
is
of course, how much
conditioning
our
them.
salary said that time? Said how much our salary that time? It was peanuts, 18,000 naira. I'm talking about 2012, 2013. So this is a very small money. But me, I'm not looking at it from that angle of say, these guys are just trying to. I'm looking at it from the angle of that these guys are being dishonest. But you can call it dishonesty, but the system has basically
No, see,
programmed the whole thing to be like that. I was even
liberation
hearing the
church.
story of all of these petrol attendants. They are paying them 13,000 naira. So they will tell them, so you find your way. You will tax people who won't come and buy petrol with keg, blow air inside the tank of
Now why
their
did they
big man.
talk? Say people they are Begistan now. They
Rob
don't turn Nigeria to Abegistan. Abegistan. How you know go
So
beg?
the
How we beg you
system
not to the
is,
other
is
state?
is programmed in such a way that it will make you want to cut corners, even though you are
Yep.
normally don't
It
want
will
to do
squeeze
that.
you.
A good
It will
person.
squeeze you.
It's
It will
crazy.
squeeze you.
It's
It will
crazy.
squeeze you. The system will literally squeeze you. It will squeeze you. It will corner you from this place. It will corner you from here. You will think that you are trying to be good. You will try your best to discipline yourself. People will still take advantage of you. Then and then the authority will be against you. Then it's as if the system, it just wants to kill you. It's after your life on a daily basis. Every day you come outside, the system is looking at you like this. That anywhere you go, every assault, you're assaulted in the bank, you're assaulted in the road by the police, you're assaulted at work. The system is consistently assaulting you, pushing you to want to. That's why we have high rate of fraud in the country. That's why we have high rate of prostitution in the country. Because people have look, what will they do? Many people know if you carry gun. Many people know if you carry gun, they know if you do all those things. So what can they do? They will sell themselves. How will they sell themselves? You see people become political thugs because of what they want to survive. So the system, these politicians kill the system, they cripple the system deliberately, so that when you have nothing else to look, when there's nowhere else to turn to, they will offer you a hand of help. And when they offer you that hand of help, what is it? Prostitute yourself. You have to sign your soul to the devil. You have to sign your soul to the devil. And the devil will not hesitate to utilize you like a bastard. These people are evil. Evil. That's why they steal so much billions. So that they can easily just go to a place and do 250,000, 250 million. Then Nigerians will be shouting, hey, Baba don't come. Look at that Obi Kubana. Yeah, at least 1,000 people will come out from this place. At least. And he's talking it. And he's not lying. He will enforce that thing. He's not lying. That video alone should let Nigerians know where their interests lie. That video alone should let Nigerians know where their interests lie.
Even the APC governments are being ruthless like that. And we heard in Enugu State, they are forcing teachers to really sign or fill forms for APC, being a member of APC. They are asked to drop their NINs and other details, filling the form of APC membership form pretty much. That if they don't do it, their salaries are on the line, or perhaps their job is on the line. The thing made the news now. It's not really, we're not
I
putting
know
this.
it. I saw the form now. I saw the form.
So the form is online. So these guys
Let
are ruthless. So they're like putting a gun on your head and say that, okay, yeah, you have a choice. So if you like, if you say do no problem. But yeah, I'm going to put the trigger. So is that one a choice? Yeah, I know
If you don't join us, no problem, but poverty will kill you.
No problem. No problem. No enter house. No enter house.
Yeah,
Rain go beat
it's
your
crazy. It's crazy how ruthless the system is now, really. No,
and then when we want to be ruthless with the system, some people will tell us.
It becomes a
They'll say you're too radical. You're too radical.
They'll now push
You
that
don't
game
respect
of
your
radicality.
elders. You have no respect for your elders.
Say you're always
telling us
insulting
stupid
us.
stuff.
How do you want us to join you when you're always insulting us?
You see that this is a dilemma that we find ourselves in. We're in a system that is radical against us, and then when we decide to be radical just to preserve our lives, they tell us, our fellow victims tell us that no, you're too rude. You need to be humble. Is that how you talk to your father? That's what they tell us. And that's part of the reasons why we are where we are.
Father will not treat me like that. Maybe that's how their father treats them. But my father will not treat me the way the way these people are treated. Yeah, no, that's fine. Maybe that's sometimes you relate with things based on how your experience at home. So maybe their parents treat them like that. What kind of father would do if Nigeria was there? And do you know why I can tell you that these people are lying? I can tell you that they don't treat their children like that, because look at the lives of all their children. These people, they have their children now. Their children are alive. How are their children faring? Some of them, the money that should be used for one school, look at how much Yaya Bello is being
Yaya
persecuted
Bello.
by EFCC for? How much? What was this? What was the money? Where did they trace it to? School fees. School fees. This was not something that was, something that we have to discuss or say whether it's true or not true. It was exposed. Everything was exposed. This man stole how many billion? That is money that could have been used in his state, in Kogi.
Oh boy, see Baba carry.
In Kogi, that's money that could have been used to develop primary schools, secondary schools, healthcare, pipe-borne water in some communities in Kogi. He carried it for just his children alone. So you see that it's not that they don't know how to do, that they do not know how to do good. They know how to do good. They just hate you, and they just believe say you don't deserve that good. You don't deserve that good because all of them, their children live the best lives.
No, the thing is, comrade, I think they hate you and they have to treat you like the ball because this is a game, right? It's a game and you are the ball. So they have to kick you around in order to maintain that game. And if you choose to be that ball, then so be it. We've chosen not to be the ball. We want to disrupt that stupid game that you're playing. And we want a brand new society. That's it.
That's all. You know, pass like that. Nigerian politicians. Hey God, I beg.
It get as it take be. It just be like somehow. Somehow. Get as it take be. These guys are very they are ruthless, and of course at the very base night I've gone again. I believe I don't want to believe that it is the platform that is kicking out night. I want to believe it's just network. I want to believe it's network. Please, Night, please request for the mic one more time. And of course, we'll pass you the mic immediately. While the network is doing us somehow, I would have loved for network to really let's move to the next line of important matter we come out recently.
Document shows the Nigerian health sector is currently wrong. If you live inside Nigeria, I won't beg you with God. I beg no fall sick. I beg. Except you get money, no fall sick. Because these documents come outside last week, and the document shows the Nigerian health sector they currently run on 0 naira. 0, nothing.
And network don't kick in. Network don't kick in. I would have loved him to really do the expose himself, but the summary is this: is written in terms of it has been transcribed. Please don't fall sick in Nigeria this 2026 under Tinubu's government. The Nigeria health budget is scary. 218 billion naira was approved, but only 36 million has been released. All right, that is 0.01%. 36 million can't even buy a house in Abuja. What do you mean by a house? Cannot even buy a car, really. So yet all that has been released for your health of 200 million Nigerians. So yeah, that is the story. And I just is unfortunate network is doing us shaggy at the moment now. But well, what would be the average Nigerian reaction to this? They go tell us, well, we know Kukuma they go to the hospital in the first place. Now we treat ourselves for us. Now they are typical. that is a generic, typical Nigerian response. You know who they go.
Nigeria.
No Kukuma they go before. So now we just now for us they treat ourselves. Now God they treat us. Now God be our Dr. Jesus is the one that is taking Master Jesus that is it. Is a typical response of the Nigerian. If they hear this kind of say, waiting concern government. Anything where they want me they do. Anything where they like me they do. The detachment is almost unbelievable. That they are aware. Of course, do not get it twisted. What we are doing here, for news, there's a thing called Koko Nuwe in Yoruba. I don't know of the name whether they call them for it. I know that there will be a news, perhaps a radio station that will be broadcasting in Yoruba. There's a station that is broadcasting in Hausa.
Of
broadcasting in
course.
Igbo language.
They have
So
OSROC in
uh-huh.
this in
And these are free.
Ondo.
These are free to hear something. Everybody,
Mm-hmm.
almost every household have a radio. So they no go talk say they know they hear all of this, and they bring all of this news to them. In fact, all of these radio stations are not even afraid any longer. They know that people will not really react. So even if NBC calls them, why did you report that kind of thing? Say, people go react. We just did our own now. People no go kuma react. So all of these things that we are saying on X, on the internet is fed to our people. Let's not get it twisted. People are aware of this whole thing, right? People talk about all of these things even in their casual discussion. You don't hear everything that happen. They don't say but they don't budget anything for us for health. To I want to go. We go survive, my brother. We go
This for
survive.
this thing, they all say this
So people are,
administration and these people. Why government no one do it? God, this government. Any Asha, Davido don't drop new song. You don't hear the song.
they could just find they go find one kind thing, take distract themselves. Yeah, say our revival go start tomorrow. So something could just take them away from that reality of getting angry and say, what? This is, and of course, politicians they would not, anything that is coming to their own table is not going to be delayed. We are almost reaching the twilight stage of February already, and yet monies have not been released.
In a
The last
country
year
with
own self, in a country of 200 million people, we say there should be no
health now the
excuse.
biggest problem.
Health is
Health is
the
the biggest thing.
man. You know how many people are unaliving every day, as a result of unavoidable death to malaria. You know how many people malaria is taken away from us every day in Nigeria? Malaria, typhoid, cholera. Not to even mention the fact that even recently there's a particular university. I don't remember. I think Imo State University, if I understand. I saw that development also recently. About 300 students was tested positive for HIV in the campus, inside the campus, inside the. This is not the stale news. This is a recent development. If say my network they okay for pull them up, a recent development. All right. So now tell me, all right, that country can this kind of country afford to even play this kind of games? Not to even mention the state where the health sector even day already now. Maybe say we have just one doctor to about 1,000 to 2,000 people. We have recorded cases of doctors dropping unalived on duty because of work pressure
Major, did I
and
not tell you?
workload.
Did I not tell
They
you
are
that?
working 24 hours. Doctors, they can barely have a 10-minute nap. They don't wake up. Doctor, emergency don't do. You go rush, go there. Another one before you finish that one. Another one don't come. Burnout. And of course, when you do that when you are in that kind of regiment every day, your system tends to adapt to it. Meanwhile, the system is killing you gradually.
Yeah,
But you think it's
exactly.
normal.
Like Nigeria.
You go think say they save life. You are being important. You are important to people. People have been our youth. All right. Even in this Lagos, a very brilliant, prominent, of course, of good future, elevator of an hospital ended her life.
I remember.
Today, we don't hear anything again. Till today, we don't hear any updates as far as that case is concerned. And this is a typical of how we sweep things under the carpet, and gradually our people are getting less and less interested in the affairs of their country. Well, welcome to the studio, Night. You've dropped for like two times now. We would like to pass you the mic immediately. We believe that one or two of the stories for today has jumped at you, or perhaps you want to give just a comment. Please feel free to address Nigerians right now about how many of us on X now? about 133 of us on Hex are listening to you. And of course, on YouTube and TikTok, also, we have audience listening to us there. So you are welcome to this discussion. How is your side of things? In what perception do you see Nigeria today? Are you encouraged or are you further concerned about the state of your dear country? Knight, will pass you the mic. Knight, are you there? Knight. Wow. Seems as though Knight has not really connected with us. It seems as the network today, hold my Oga back. It's fine. Let's keep the conversation rolling, ladies and gentlemen. You can reach out to us. Any comments you drop on all the platforms, on YouTube, on TikTok. Although I'm basically looking at the TikTok live directly from the phone. This Restream platform is not incorporated such that I can see TikTok comments live. And of course, people cannot request to be a speaker from TikTok. It would have been wonderful if people can really do that from TikTok. But this system is not, designed in such a way that anybody from TikTok can connect to us in the studio here. Anyone who wants to connect with us in the studio would have to explore using our link. And of course, we still have some time, like 30 to 40 minutes for this live stream. So yeah, so use our channels of communication. If you want to reach out to us, you can use that link. If you type it correctly on your browser, you will gain access to us in the studio here. And of course, so let's get the conversation rolling. And our next story is this guy has finally decamped from obedient to city boy. So we have that network is not able to load videos now. But let me see if it will play. I think it is a very comic way to unwind after a very tiring day. I believe many of us are just getting home. So let's take a listen. If network will agree us, network no agree us. But the summary of it is written up there. So many decamping. This is a transfer window season. Political transfer window is happening now. And we've had so much defection from city boy movement to village boy movement. And of course, from village boy movement to city boy movement. So it's a very interesting time that we find ourselves in. It's a very wonderful time to be alive. Me, I be saying I witnessed this history, this Nigerian history, because this is quite profound. The level of how with a shift ground for Nigeria is quite interesting. The way our people just they shift goalpost, they jump ship. I would never have believed in 100 years that Akbiwa Mama Speed Darlington would call on Sheyi Tinubu, all right, to be a member of the City Boy movement. I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't. And I think I played a video that proved that to you. That, yeah, Akbiwa Mama has been a very huge critic. Not just critic. He has so much deep, I don't want to use that word, really. We don't want to be flagged for this government. But now he's the one reaching out. He's calling on Sheyi Tinubu, for a collab. Say, okay, yeah, I'm up. I'm very much open to the offer, really. I have huge street credibility in my community. So give me the gig. All my other Igbo brothers are taking the gig. Let me take it too. So I wouldn't have believed that Speed Darlington would take that kind of stand. But hey, here you are. It's election season. He's already taking that stance today. He's reaching out to Tinubu son, Sheyi Tinubu, to basically factor him into the mix of those that will be considered to be a member of the City Boy movement. So it is what it is in Nigeria. So many things are happening, so many defections. So it is what it is. So let's continue with some of the things I saw too. This one is a troll, really. So there are many trolls also going on. And of course, I find this also very interesting. Please, viewer discretion. There are some disturbing footage there. This is a girl being basically. Let me read for you. According to reports, this girl allegedly stole someone's phone and withdraw all the money from their bank account. She was later, you know, caught, and the following day after being tracked. So look at what they are doing to her. They are basically assaulting her really, for stealing a phone, and of course she was caught later. So this is a very disturbing view really. I don't want to expose our viewers that might be triggered by such a development. But I think this is very, very interesting really, that our Nigerian people, all right, they don't they waste time when it comes to delivering, bringing justice to their fellow Nigerian that is powerless. They know how to do that
Now that
very sweet. They are born. They are born. Oh, Adege, don't go. Yeah, you back. You back, Adege.
I say
You want to talk something?
now that time you go hear short sleeve or long sleeve.
Yes, yes.
When they reach the man on the streets, hear those
They,
things.
they did very, very fast. When it is time
They
to
don't thief their
confront
future.
the very when it's time to confront the ones that are stealing their future away, the ones that are stealing their past,
Hmm.
their present, and their future.
Hmm.
That is three things. So
Hmm.
we know the call only one aspect of it. They are stealing the past, they are stealing the present, and they are stealing the future.
And they are going to steal
So
it. They are already stealing the future.
they are already stealing it on reckless abandon on an industrial scale, safe.
Hmm.
All right. So they know how to really deliver swift, jungle justice for stuff like that. And of course, it's a revelation to the inner workings of the Nigerian mind. They are. It seems as though many of our people are oppressors. Really, I cannot really imagine myself doing this. Really, even if I'm the victim, all right, I would rather approach either the authorities or perhaps settle this thing even without involving the authorities. Because as far as it's concerned, this is a family affair between oppressed people, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, for her to steal phone, I think I'll be more than interested. Why did you steal my phone? Why? What happened? What has happened to you? What are you going through? All right. What do you need help for? That will be what I'll be interested in knowing. No be say I can't go mobilize boy. Say, may we beat him. May we do something to him. May we wound him. No. I think Nigerians need to really, really have some level of introspection in this regard. Nobody is, um, basically nobody is encouraging stealing, really. But I'm saying if you can hail that Baba Alaye that is stealing your resources, and we know what you are saying about Baba Alaye for him back now. They call him thief for him back. But when you see Baba Alaye, you go throw a salute. So if you can be lenient to Baba Alaye, and your brain will tell you, say, maybe we'll do the same thing we do for my person we still for our community. You cannot do that same thing to Baba Alaye. That's hypocrisy, really. And I would rather take stand of, treating these matters like a family affair than for me to say, yeah, it is now time for me to start flexing my muscle. All right. I think we need to have, a bit of introspection right there. And Nigerians need to do better. All right. And of course, this is also an absence of an authority figure. You can imagine that this girl is basically at the mercy of these guys, and there is
Mm-hmm.
no authority figure there. There's no even elder there that can even caution them and say, no, don't do this. Why are you doing this? This is even a lady. It's a lady. Cannot even give her that allowance. She's a lady.
My
Leave her
comment.
alone. You don't collect what you afterward, you don't collect the phone from her hand. The only thing which you go can't do is say, okay, how about the money which she withdraw from the account? How is she going to pay it back? And you can come to a consensus about that. And of course, even if you put it on social media, there will be people that will be willing to pay that money off. How much is the money? But this whole idea of putting a camera on her face and basically assaulting her is a very terrible development, and is a very sad thing indeed that is happening. And people will say that these people behave this way when they are frustrated, when they are in a system where they want to really vent their anger. They want to vent the wickedness within inside them, which they won't do to their oppressors. They want to vent it on someone that infringe on a local law. All right. Please proceed, Adege.
No, it's just what it is. How Nigerians are always cornered into various forms of dehumanization. And the contradiction of how Nigerians are quick to bring sweet justice to their fellow oppressed, and find it even say bring that same level of justice to leaders who have been ruining their life from time immemorial. It shows how much we see ourselves as nothing. We don't value ourselves. We've not come to that point where we understand there's no class analysis, there's no class solidarity amongst us and the oppressed, the lower class. Solidarity shows on the top. These people put us in these precarious positions that why would a young girl like that should be working, that should have a job in a same country? What is phone? Some people in other countries, like, phone is nothing in a lot of other countries. What is the phone? How much is the phone? But because say Nigeria food, even normal food, egg, how much is egg in Nigeria?
300.
People can't even eat in the country. People have to do unscrupulous, unsavory things to survive.
They be say, for my house, now only my baby now in the chop egg for we say we will be outdoors. We will be agbalagba, we don't grow already.
I don't chop egg already.
Now only him they chop egg. So this is an extreme rationing, the situation. And I'm pretty sure I'm not just the only one doing this. Really. I'm just being open about my own. It's happening to
everybody.
It's happening to even some children in Nigeria. Now Gary morning, night, evening, and they even find themselves privileged to even have something to fill their bellies. Hi, Nigeria.
I saw a news
crazy.
article
And we
today
have
that was
leaders. It's crazy. It's crazy. The reality that is actually people have to deal with is not supposed to happen. It's scandalous that we find ourselves in this kind of situation. Under no circumstance should people ration anything in Nigeria. We are blessed beyond measure, beyond measure, beyond measure. And of course, that is why I would really clap for this idea of having what do you call it? A museum for those that are people who don't do us this kind of shaggy. We have to document them and have section by section by section by section to all of them. Right? If we are to mummify them and put them, beside their atrocities, I think it's more than worth it. It's not really okay for a wicked set of rulers to go away with this kind of impunity. This is a very huge impunity of a very grand scale. When people are inside it, they sweat, no light. Our politicians are detaching themselves from that reality. They are even using our resources, their budget for fuel, despite being the highest paid set of lawmakers and politicians in the world. They still budget for everything they do is on us. Everything they do is on us. They sit down is on us. They are standing up is on us. They are even collecting hardship allowance. Hardship. I heard that and I was blown away. I said, really? Hardship allowance? Adege, are you still there? Oh, it seems as though Adege is not connected to us. And I believe it's not from my side. Can African Wala also hear me? I think it's not from my side.
I can hear you.
Okay, I just want to thank you for that feedback. I think Adege is back.
Duration, can you hear me?
Yes, you can be heard now.
Yeah, I say everything is on the house. All
Mm.
their balling is on the house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sponsoring their
yeah.
entire lifestyle. We are sending their children to good schools. We are sponsoring their health care. We are giving them the best food, the best clothes, the best cars. Everything they enjoy from courtesy the Nigerian people. Nigerian people have taken care of these people for so long. They have stolen enough money to take care of 3-4 generations. Many of them have stolen enough money
And
to
they are
take care
still
of 3-4
and they are still
generations.
not done yet. Mm.
And what else do you want to steal? You have been stealing since 2001. People like Tinubu have been stealing since 1990 something.
I saw a video today. I think we are supposed to get to that also, of when Nuru Ribadu, the very first EFCC chairperson,
Yeah.
was actually addressing a BBC News correspondent, and he
Mm-hmm.
said, based on his investigation, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu cornered 75%
Mm.
of the resources in Lagos to himself.
Mm. You see him?
This
You
is
see him?
an interview wey be say no be say they force am talk am, no be say na secret memo. And I'm now wondering, how come as an EFCC officer you were not able to prosecute someone that has cornered over 75% of the
Where
state
is he
resources to
now?
himself?
Where is he now?
Where is
Where
he
is Nuru
now?
Ribadu now?
And of course, even Nuribadu now is under him. Nuribadu is
Nuru
working
Ribadu,
under that very same
so
person.
you want to tell
Maybe
me that
say
Nuru Ribadu did not
he,
know?
he will have prosecuted and man, Nigeria.
Tell me that
Nigeria
Nuru
is
Ribadu did
a
not know. Is this not the Nuru Ribadu that said, okay, someone stole? I think it was about 700 billion or something. I can't remember. I saw the news as well. I saw the figures. Someone cornered that kind of resource. You are the former EFCC chairman. You made this statement public when you were in office. All of a sudden, you who made this allegation about this same person, you are willing to close your eyes to work with him. And this is the problem. People want Showore to do the same thing. People want us to do the same thing. We can't do it.
Mhm.
We cannot know that you have stolen that kind of money and come and now say, okay, it's all right, it's all right, it's okay, it's okay. That was in the past. All is forgiven. Come and do. How? You must first look at what Peter Obi said. He said, if you have a supermarket, you cannot close down the supermarket and
and
go and
some
be
people would
catering.
some people are still of the opinion that yeah, no, Ribadu is one of the good guys. You know, it should be allowed. Of course, is going to solve the issue from the inside. He said he's going to solve it from the. Am I still connected to? I think are you
I'm
there?
here. Can you hear me?
Have you heard? Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said most
So
of the
people
people
are saying that he's a good guy. That it seems as though he's just waiting patiently. He had to walk along with them. He had to walk alongside with them, and of course, he has to really deal with the issue from inside. He's an insider.
everybody that has entered inside since they have never come out.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's only me that have
well,
noticed it. Most of the people that have entered inside that say they want to deal with it from the inside, they have never come out since the day they enter inside. They just
mm,
enter
mm,
inside and they stay there.
mm.
How will you tell me? How do people think in this country? How do people think in this country? How do you want to tell me? How do you want to reconcile a Nuru Ribadu who is aware, who made a statement, a categorical statement, that the Tinubu administration cornered these resources to himself. And now he's the national security advisor to the president, to the same Tinubu who he was aware, who he investigated. To the same Tinubu who he investigated. He's now the national security advisor to the same Tinubu who he claimed, who he said his investigation brought about these findings. So is it that Tinubu appointed him national security advisor so that he can close his mouth, so that he will not say what he knows, or what is happening here? So you see, and this is the situation of things. You see it everywhere, not just here. You see all these people, they jump around, they go to fraternize with your enemy, and you want to tell me that this person is a good person. You want to convince me to believe that this person is a good person. I know that this person is a thief. I'm aware of how he stole. I investigated him. I know all the money trails. I'm aware. I have all the metadata. But I am going to go and work with him anyway. To what end? To what end? And people, Nigerians will say, it's being strategic, it's politics. You know, you can't say what you want to do before you enter the system. You keep it in your mind so that when but when it's time to benefit from the system, you can enjoy all the benefits, or you can chop all the same life that all these people are chopping. You can chop that same life with them. You not remember the people that time. The same person you want to tell me want to come and change it. It is we are going through. Someone told me one time that there's a list that there is that the cabal in Nigeria already has an accumulated list of the next set of presidents that will happen in this country, and it's beginning to look like that. It's beginning to look like that because all these things, these guys, the same people, they just rotate themselves. Every time they bring out a new person, they know they want to bring. The person comes in, it does not persecute the people before him. He just follow the status quo. They could just whine Nigerians, whine the Nigerian people. Nigerian people keep suffering. Our condition will keep getting worse. But the condition and the lifestyle of these politicians keep getting better and better and better. They keep looking fresher. They keep having the best cars. They buy the best cars everything. They buy the best cars, they drink the best drink, they eat the best food, everything. But now you have the worst car, you eat the worst food, you don't drink any, you have no good water, and you still want to show these same people love. What will it take for you? And the people who are endorsing all these guys the most of them, they are not even in the country. So it's a ridiculous situation, very ridiculous situation. Over to you, my company.
Ridiculous indeed. Is a very ridiculous situation indeed. And of course, it is very important that we highlight this to the Nigerian people. And part of the ridiculousness is that an agreement from Ukenefu local government of Akwa Ibom State, the hometown of Inyime Idem, a member of the National Assembly, said for 30 years he has been on earth. There has never been electricity in the local government. And as a result, everyone has left the place except the honorable posters. And you can see from the video, you can see there.
See my local government. Since how many years? Since why are they small? Rich now. This community, this Okanafon local government never get light till now. Never get waiting then they call Nepal light till now. For this new era. Never get light till now. See this local government chairman. Small this thing, small
he has leave they grow on top
street light we can put. See all in poster, you can put everywhere. No be shame. The whole local government, no better road. See this road now. No only gutter than here, pour gravel. Now only this small thing we do, put street light. Now carry all in poster then put for everywhere. Just tell me what I good. Huh? Big shame to Akwa Ibom, big shame. The whole local government since how many years? More than 30 years. Never see waiting in the call Nepal light. No development, nothing. If I show you plenty house for this school, if I show you plenty people house wait for this community, you don't shut down. Grass don't take on because people don't run come out. No development for the no development for the community. Plenty people don't run come out for community. Plenty don't die. Their children don't forget the compound. See everywhere grass. No good development. Only street light we can put. Only street light. But if you see you anywhere you enter, now only poster. 9 day. Only street light this man put. Them.
It's crazy. You know, you do street lights, you scatter everywhere with your poster. And of course, this is a project that billions. This is constituency projects that they collect billions for. Billions. The level of the level of wickedness, and hatred these people have for their people is quite on another level. Because if you love your people, there is not possible for love to be at the at the vocal point of these people's agenda. It's not love. I don't think it's love. I don't think
These
it's love.
politicians, they insult us. They insult the Nigerian people.
Mm.
They insult
It's a
us with all
big,
this
big, big.
nonsense.
It's a very big slap on
Yeah,
the
it was a big
face.
slap on our
You
face.
know.
Look at what these are the people in that community. They don't deserve anything good. And that one is collecting local government allocation, and they have increased it to 3 times. Abi, have they not increased local government allocation times 3?
Yes, yes, yes. It's collecting times three of it
And what
based
is he
on
doing?
what they are saying.
One street light, the park poster put everywhere. Nigerian
It's
people, you know
crazy.
what to do. You know what to do.
Of
The
course,
AC parties are the way.
our people know exactly what to do. If not that one, I have no doubt.
Is that
Really.
works at residents in Ota as well as commuters who use Ojure, Songo along Idiroko Road are complaining about quality of work being done by the construction company handling the Ojure bridge. First among major complaints is that the company refused to hearken to voices of stakeholders who said there should be alternate routes prepared. The construction company, they said it's one Lara Lake like that, refused to listen to them. Another complaint is that works are being handled manually
You can imagine this
rather
huge
than
project
using the
handled
correct,
manually.
proper, and right tools. Even the alternate routes they were supposed to prepare before that they failed to do. Some persons are taking advantage of these problems. For instance, the one that after Egomode that leads to Ewupe and burst out somewhere around Bibio, some persons went and created one wooden bridge across that small gutter, and they are collecting money from people to use what should have been normal alternate routes. I heard the complaint, so I went to see it myself, and it is true. They are taking money from people to use alternate routes because the construction
Nigerians.
did not include.
Well, it is left for the Nigerian people to really decide really whether or not they want to continue living like this, or perhaps they want to put an end to their suffering. We've been streaming for the past 3 hours, and of course, based on the recent arrangement, we don't want to exceed 3 to 3 hours, 30 minutes to 4 hours maximum, because there are some engagements we want to start exerting ourselves on TikTok. There's a TikTok live show that has some audience, and we have been advised to be entering that live session. And of course, we want to also be able to have ample rest before we can enter such live session, to be able to reach out to Nigerian people and basically tell them about the message of liberation.
Yes, my comrade.
So it is what it is. So we have to draw the curtain here today. Thank you so very much, everybody.
Yes,
All
my
right.
comrade.
And of course, we would meet tomorrow for another fresh edition of Wetin Dey Happen. And of course, we have discussed so many things we don't happen today. And of course, we have extracted lessons. We have, educated our people the perspective that we would have loved them to see it from. And we believe that to the over 140 people tuned to us on this live broadcast, we have been able to really, let you see things from a very interesting perspective that will prime you to take action about your situation. Is that prime you to take action, or perhaps you are aware that you know exactly what to do? You are just the one, not willing to do it. So, but yet we have to do it and say it for posterity's sake. We have to do this for posterity's sake. We have to put it on record that we give our people alternative means of information that will not they will not be vulnerable completely to propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
right? So the whole essence of this is just to solve that problem because the whole place is saturated with propaganda. Today we were on that same live program that I was talking about on TikTok, and the host was like, "Yeah, he's a neutral figure. He speaks to power." All of a sudden, city boys came in their droves, and they began to gift this host money guns, money guns, lions, roses, whales, universe. All of these things carry money in TikTok. This is a TikTok
Oh yeah.
language that translates to resources, and they were
Oh,
bombarded.
interesting.
Almost before I say Jack Robinson, they took up the mic and they said they want the host to sing "Or Your Mandate We Shall Stand." Lo
Eh?
and behold, lo and behold, the host sang "On Your Mandate." Oh. It was even before they even pick up the mic, it don't the excitement. He said he has never been gifted. I will send you the video privately, Adege.
Ah, I
Now so
beg.
I cool down, screenshot everything. I screen recorded everything. I cool myself down, screen record everything. All right.
Can you imagine?
So it is what it is in Nigeria, and of course, the Nigerian people have their own duty to liberate themselves. Really,
Yeah, they do.
it is becoming clearer and clearer that even those that should participate in the emancipation struggle, they are the very ones betraying the people because of what? Because of money, because of waiting we go chop, forget, waiting we go chop shit for toilets.
Hmm. Hmm.
It is what it is in Nigeria. But the ball is in our court as a people to do the needful. And what is that
Mm-hmm.
needful? We have to exercise our numbers. The power of the people is greater than people in power. Join an organization. All right? Be a part of an organization. For instance, me now, I am a part and parcel of the Take It Back movement. I am a member of the Take It Back movement. I am also a member of the African Action Congress. All right? A
Mm-hmm.
revolutionary political institution aimed at, basically being the vanguard of the Nigerian revolution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes,
Revolution
sir.
via the ballot. And of course, we are prepared to also have a standout, a
Mm-hmm.
confrontation
Mm-hmm.
with a system that would dare to rig us out of an election. So
Mm-hmm.
I am part of that organization. If you want to be part of it too, you can use the website aacparty.com. Within 2 minutes, you are already an official member. It's a digital
Mm-hmm.
party. And of course, we believe that digital means of doing things gives to a large extent efficiency,
Mm-hmm.
effectiveness, and of course it simplifies many things. And of course, it's a very detailed website. So thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much, everybody, for being a part of this show. Would you like to say any final remark, Adeyige, before we draw the curtain today?
Oh, government, well, not much to say. We have said it all. We have told the Nigerian people every day we come to this show, we put before them life and death. We tell them to pick one so that they and their descendants will live long. That is just simply, they know what to do. We just have to practice how to organize. The AAC is the vehicle. We are waiting for Nigerians to come aboard and we can drive them to the destination of liberation. That's all it is. We'll come again tomorrow. We'll continue this message of liberation. We'll continue to reach out to the Nigerian people. We'll continue to talk. Because maybe they no talk, say we no talk. Say there was no other option. There are other options. So we'll continue to talk. And like you always say, my comrade, we think people are not listening, but they are getting socially engineered. And we see it. We see their actions. We hear their words. Now all of a sudden, everybody's a comrade. Everybody's a revolutionary. You cannot turn a no into a yes without a maybe in between. We're on the right track, my comrade. You are doing well. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much indeed. And of course, to all our audience, you are doing well for staying very, for staying glued to us. And some of you have stayed from the beginning to the very end. Thank you very much. Some have joined us during when we are started already. Thank you so much for being a part and parcel of this program. And of course, thank you so very much for basically tolerating and of course listening to us. And of course, also agreeing and disagreeing with us. So this platform is not really particularly a platform that is actually going to shut you off if you take a different perspective. If you really disagree with us, we will be more than willing to take it with good faith and subject it to the highest level of scrutiny. And if it does not meet up, of course, we are going to drop it. If it is useful, we are going to learn from it. And of course, that is why we roll here. So do not be afraid to basically reach out to us whenever we are doing our broadcast. And of course, this broadcast is recorded on X and on YouTube. The only platform where it is not recorded, it is TikTok. TikTok don't record live sessions. It only does the live as the hot. So, but you can share this particular broadcast to your friend, a family member, an acquaintance, a relative. Do not be selfish with this information. If you find it helpful, if you find our broadcast very educating, please pass it on. And of course, together we shall overcome. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see again same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. But we have moved it to around 5 p.m. now. All right, because we want to really feed our audience on TikTok. Having engaged, we also hold our own platform to engage them. So we'll be flexible with our plans and our times like this as we move forward. But it is all for the overall good of the whole thing. Thank you so much. Have a very wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll meet tomorrow for another fresh edition of Waiting Dey Happen. Bye bye.